awkward. Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to J4U Studios. Of course, it's a J4U podcast, so it's gonna have technical issues like that. Where look at the replay, just randomly switches to that screen for a hot second.
We're talking about Spiderman.
Yeah, exactly, totally. That's totally what happened. I didn't misclick or anything. But welcome to the J4U podcast. I'm just gonna try and get things set up here a little bit. Where's mine? There it is. Okay. And then let's move this over. We got some people in the chat already. Excited to see all of y'all.
Hey there.
There we go. Hello, Chase and Cotillion. Nice to see you guys.
What up?
Welcome.
Hey, Chase, what's up?
Yes, and let us know audio-wise how stuff sounds. I'll try and monitor on and off as well.
Hey, Gary, this is Stormtrooper. Nice to see you on the chat.
Yep,
Good to
welcome,
have you.
Gary.
What's
Nice
up?
to see you. But yeah, how are you guys doing, by the way?
I'm still tired.
I'm doing pretty
Yeah.
good.
We'll talk about why he's
tired.
tired here in a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm just gonna get set up so I can monitor audio, make sure that we're sounding Gouda and Gouda. We actually have a slightly different setup for this J4U podcast,
Yeah, we do.
which is funny because it is the last J4U podcast of this kind.
Yep.
It'll still be continuing, but it'll look and
Different.
be very, very different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, just want to take a listen to that. I'll be just on and off listening to audio and stuff. But, yeah, so let me pull up the agenda here, and also I'll update the description as the podcast continues with both the agenda and some of the stuff that we're talking about, because we have some announcements.
Oh, yeah. I got some
Yeah.
interesting stuff.
Some really exciting announcements as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so
There's interesting stuff. Yeah.
So, continuing off of what I mentioned at the beginning, this is going to be the last J4U podcast of this kind, is the fact that I myself, if you haven't been watching the vlogs and don't know this, am actually moving
Yeah.
in less than a week.
Last
Oof.
week, yeah.
Like, it's Thursday now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm moving in 5 days.
5
Damn.
Whew.
days.
You'll be off.
Yeah, I will be.
Flying
So,
to the mountains.
J4U Podcast, though, is a show that I'll be taking with me up to northern Arizona. But I wanted to do this one with you guys, because you guys were the crew since episode 2 for the J4U Podcast. So I thought it would be a great callback to have you guys on.
Except, we were like on our computers just talking and Discord and just like you could barely hear me. Just like, hey, what?
But look at
So
where
this
we
one
are
time-
now.
Yeah, we've come so
Just
far.
that.
We've come so far.
Only to basically cut all of our equipment in half and have half of it stay here and half go to northern Arizona.
Yeah.
Basically. This
So
is
I
the only
made-
time this setup's gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately. But and I see a lot of you guys are talking about Transcrafters with my move. Don't worry, Transcrafters will still be happening. Actually, I've been just recording like a madman episodes of Transcrafters.
Can
Word.
verify this.
Yeah, and like the past recording sessions, it'll be like 2 hours here, hour and a half here, 2 hours there. Like, it's insane.
Scary.
Yeah, Luke has been at all the script meetings with Marco where we're just finalizing the scripts before I record. So yes, Transcrafters is still happening. In fact, I have episode 1 all shot. It's in post-production right now. Then all the other episodes are either being shot or just final touches on the map, and I'm literally like a couple hours away from recording them. And yes, fuck Batman. We talked about the last podcast, didn't we?
Yuck, Batman.
No, that was
No.
like before. It was on a stream. Yeah.
I think we mentioned it at least once.
Okay, well maybe when we get to Teen Titans Go to the Movies, we'll.
It was on I
It'll be
remember,
a
it was on
slight
a stream.
deviation,
Well,
but
I forget. Yeah, I guess we
boy.
could. But anyways.
but yeah, so that's one big change. This will be the last J4U podcast with the three of us together in the same city. So I thought it would be great to have the OG team here
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, definitely.
The Three Amigos.
Yep.
Cool zip.
Cool
So,
Zip Gaming, what is up?
Hey, welcome, Cool Zip. Long time no see. Glad to have you here, bud.
Nice.
So yeah, that's one big announcement. And with that, actually, Out of Sync Stories will be changing. We'll probably talk about that in not too long when we record that episode.
Yeah,
of
when
Out
we
of Sync
actually
Stories.
record that episode.
But yeah, so because J4U podcast is moving, that will become the J4U or the Northern Arizona podcast, and Out of Sync Stories will become
be-
this location's podcast.
It'll be like the
Southern
main one for
Arizona,
here.
maybe.
So, yeah. It's like base B. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and the next thing we have to talk about, which Raphael, I'll kind of let you take the lead on, is the J4U Studios website.
Oh, well.
Promote that shit.
Oh boy, yes, we have an official website now on Wix.com,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's all updated. All the videos you can watch for like Transcrafters, Fortnite, maybe podcasts that you guys want to watch. Like it's all on the website now. It's out. It's anybody can look at it now. It's been a lot. It's been like I think like I don't remember how long I've been working on it actually.
It's been a while.
Been a long while, and I'm happy to announce that it's officially done, and anybody can like go on it.
Yeah.
I feel so left out. Sorry,
Mr.
Marco.
E. Oh, Marco. Hey. How
Sorry,
you
man.
doing? Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but yeah, guys, the website's finally out. I hope you enjoy it. Like, it will be updated frequently when it comes to like the main thing, like Transcrafters that everybody loves.
Yep, and I'm getting a link right now so I can post in the chat. So you guys don't have to look up the website. You'll just have it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And here, I'll post that in right about now.
Right about.
Yeah, and it'll work. Like, trust me. Like, I will try my best to like keep it updated frequently. So like, if you guys want to know, like, hey, where can I, find this video? Like, I can't find it on the playlist. Oh, just go to the website. No problem. Looking for a specific like podcast episode? Don't worry about it. Just go to the podcast, and then there'll be a list of specific podcasts that we have, and you can just find it.
Yeah, and might I say the website looks nice.
Thank you.
We've technically had the website for about 5 years.
Yeah.
It has not been updated in about 5 years.
It did not age well.
Yikes.
That too,
Yeah.
But you guys, thank you so much for cleaning it up. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I worked on
pretty
just
dope.
like the podcast and just like links and blog stuff, while Marco just worked on the gaming part since he had most of the files and all that. So just like, hey, I need your help. Just do that, and we got it done that quick. And I was honestly surprised that it was finished up quickly. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, and it's done.
The other announcement we have, which has been a request actually by Jonathan, I don't know if you're in the chat, but he asked us about like a Just For You Studios Discord, if there's any way that you guys could talk to us one-on-one kind of a thing. And we talked about it. We had several meetings about it, and we are excited to announce. I won't be posting a link here because we're still working out some of the details on how we want to share it with you, but there is a Just For You Studios community Discord. So the point of it is, if you have the Discord app, which is easy to download, you can get on your phone, computer, whatever, basically you would use the link that we would give you, and it's kind of like Skype, if you know anything about Skype, where there are chat rooms and then there are voice rooms. And we have a couple. One is a video discussion room, where basically the point of it is that you would, it would be like a more engaging version of the comments, where it could be like, hey, the newest episode of Transcrafters came out. You and everyone else on the Discord who are fans or community members of Just For You Studios could then just talk about the video.
Yeah.
It's like a more instantaneous comment, where you could say, hey, I liked this, didn't
and
like
a
that.
discussion that you guys can like talk on about, just like what you liked about this part, just like wondering like what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, theories, ideas.
You never know. Yeah.
And
do you need to pay? No. Like,
Nope.
It's free. You sign up and just like
which is great. So
we're not. Trust me, we're not doing that. Just like
yeah. So it's free, like you said. You can just join in, talk about videos and stuff. If you don't want to type it out, you want to have an actual voice discussion, there are voice chats that you could hop into and talk with another community member about a video, discuss it. And we'll also be giving updates via the Discord, like things such as, hey, episode of Transcrafters coming out this date, and that would be the only place you'd find that out. Would be via the Discord.
And just like
Find out early.
Yeah, or just like any updates you want to know, like what's coming up next, another vlog.
And we're looking at doing polls on the Discord as well, so if you want input on the kind of videos that we're making, the Discord would be a great place to do it. So we have it done. It's just this thing of
adding a
when
few
we're
more
gonna
touches.
we just want to figure out a good way for moderation, but as soon as we get that figured out, you'll be all good, and we'll do an announcement video for it. All right, and let me just check agenda again. What else are we missing? So I'm also excited to announce that as of last night, Just For You Studios has wrapped production on our most recent short film. Or not even short film, our most recent film.
Yeah, recent film.
Maybe. Who knows?
It's not even, it's pretty good.
Maybe a film. Who knows?
Yeah, it's teetering.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the call time was about 9:30, and I didn't get home until about 2 a.m. from it. So it was a long one. We had a great group of extras.
I was glad. Like, a
good
great cast.
Number of crew. Yeah, we had our 2 main cast members did a great job. And I'm really excited for the film. We have a trailer done that we'll release in the not too distant future. But yeah,
I feel,
Yeah.
like
Excited.
I feel like someone in this room may have edited it.
I feel like 2 people in this room may have contributed to
Was it
editing
Kermit? Was it Kermit?
That's a good
and,
point.
Like-
Turtle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Kermit
right.
and Turtle.
Both
Yeah.
of them. They're the real masterminds here.
Yeah, I
You're all
figured.
funny men.
Yeah. Well, I thank you. I appreciate that.
I feel like that's a lie directly towards me, but okay.
Yeah, you're all funny men.
Thanks, Marco.
Except Luke.
I wouldn't judge him for that. I wouldn't judge him for that because he's right.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, trailer will be dropping in not too long, so you can get excited for that. And now we're just kind of going to get started on the main agenda for this episode of the podcast.
boy.
I feel that was a long enough lead-in.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of
the
stuff
first
here.
thing we have to talk about, which I hope I'm not the leading expert in, I know a decent amount of, but I'm not the leading expert in, is the trailer for Glass.
Oh
which-
yes, I have a good amount of knowledge on this because I
Go
know
over it, buddy.
I know my Shyamalan.
Your
Oh.
Shyamalan twist.
So explain the backstory here.
Okay.
For this movie.
Okay, so there's a lot of time to kind of explain this. First of all, so some people might have seen the movie Split, which was also done by Shyamalan. Had James McAvoy. It was kind of like a horror film about a guy with split personality.
Still gotta see that.
Something happens at the end of the film, like as an end credit scene, essentially, that I won't really get into.
Well, I mean, I think it's been long enough.
Should I basically just say what it
I
is?
think it's
Go
been
for
long
Okay,
enough.
so at the end of it, they reveal a character from one of Shyamalan's previous films, Unbreakable, which was about essentially kind of like if superheroes existed on Earth, but they just didn't know they were actually superheroes. And it had Bruce Willis. He cameoed at the end of the film. He was in Unbreakable. And basically everyone flipped their shit because they're like, wait, is Unbreakable getting a sequel? Because that's one of the few films that people that watch Shyamalan films actually wanted a sequel from, which is saying a lot. 'Cause
What? Not Last Airbender?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I wanted 5
Yeah.
sequels for that already.
I wanted a sequel to Lady in the Water and The Happening.
I definitely wanted that weird fire scene, just like
Don't remind me
in the
about
dirt
that.
shit.
Oh god. But anyways, people basically lost their minds because like, wait, is this meaning there's going to be an Unbreakable 2? And essentially, I mean, I guess Split technically is Unbreakable 2 since it's kind of like now its own universe. But Glass really is Unbreakable 2 because essentially all the characters from the first film have returned, like Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And now we also have James McAvoy's split personality monster boy, I guess.
Which I'm actually really happy they called it Glass because I like the idea of this movie's focus being more on Mr. Glass.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's kind of his story. He's the mastermind behind it. Which you could argue he was the mastermind of Unbreakable, but this could be a very different opportunity for him. It was.
Yeah.
I see it more as what Batman v Superman could have and should have been.
Yeah, yeah. Also, one thing is, someone said that there's an echo on your mic.
I know I'm working on it.
Okay, cool. But essentially,
I wasn't gonna mention it because I didn't want to ruin the immersion, Luke.
Yeah. One thing I kind of like though is sort of from the titles of the films, they almost have like a kind of key thematic loop, which is like first one's called Unbreakable, the second one's called Split, and the third one's Glass. They're like a bunch of like connections in some way, which I think may give some indication of what kind of themes there might be in the film and whatnot. And I'm actually really interested in it. I'm a bit cautious because, again, Split was like, okay, Shyamalan finally made a good film.
Also, Luke, make sure you're talking into that mic.
Oh, sorry.
It'll be awkward, but I know you're talking to me. Just talking to the mic.
But, like, Split was actually really great, but it was only like a one chance sort of thing. And I'm very worried that it might be one of those cases where it's like, oh, it kind of was a sense of luck that actually made it good. But I'm interested, if nothing else, because it looks super interesting, mainly for the idea of, like, making an extended universe about something like this. Not just like, oh, something so well known. It's like its own very obscure, like, universe.
Ooh.
It's the Shyamalan verse.
Twist.
The Shyamalan cinematic universe.
It is actually
There was an idea.
based.
Oh my gosh, Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean, he is in it.
Oh shit! Oh,
There was an idea that Shyamalan twisted so many plot twists that it became its own
First name
universe.
Mister, last name Fury.
Here.
god damn it, Mr. Fury.
Last name twist.
What they twist?
All right. So any other notes
Sorry.
for Glass?
I'm interested. If nothing else, I'm not sure if it'll be good or if it'll be bad, but it's super interesting and kind of a risky, like, just like idea in general. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. I just don't know if they'll have the best execution, but we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, it's Shyamalan, so it feels at this point like it's a coin flip.
Yeah, it's like at this point in time, it's like he can do good, but there's been many times where it's like, oops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Will and Dylan are the reasons you subbed. Well, that's awesome. That's the whole point of J4U Studios. Got all these different personalities, not
poisonality. Got here, what's up, boy?
So that you can hopefully find someone who you love and will subscribe for.
Yeah.
I hoped Glass would be similar to Silence of the Lambs. Actually, I would see that. That'd be interesting, honestly.
Ooh.
Because I feel like, well, I guess
that'd be cool.
Samuel Jackson's character is sort of like a very intricate mastermind, but is also isn't the best of people. Yeah. So I see where you're going with this. Actually, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Huh. Luke, just a total like light bulb moment of like, wait a second.
Like, wait a minute, that's a great idea.
I don't know if they'll go with that kind of idea, but it would be actually that could be kind of dope.
I mean, yeah.
Just again, if it's executed properly, that is. But yeah.
Cool. All right, and I'm updating the description now so that it has our agenda in it, so I don't have to keep switching tabs. So the next thing to talk about, which was definitely interesting, I'd say, would be the Shazam trailer.
Ooh,
so this movie I have for a long time been very worried and nervous about.
Huh.
I'll say the trailer made me feel better, though. Cause
that's good.
At some point watching the trailer, I started getting the vibe of, I think they're going to try and make it extra cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, my fear would be that would be an unwanted side effect.
Yeah.
Like they're aiming for that super dramatic, badass feel, and then it's like, it's just poorly executed and turns out, like, looks super campy because of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it's good. What are your guys' thoughts on it, though?
Well,
I'll let you go first.
Alright, so what I think, like, I have more hope for it, honestly, because, like, when we first saw, like, the set photos for just, like, Shazam costume, like, oh, okay, just him wearing a onesie and all that, because I remember, like, we talked about that, like, the first time those leaked images came out, just, like, at first it kind of looked like him wearing a onesie, then, like, then just, like, a towel. That's it, just, like, for a kid, but just, like, if you look in the trailer, they kind of, like, improved it a bit with just, like, the boots and just, like, I think the arms.
Yeah, like, it has a bit more detail to
Yeah,
it.
and, like, I also think the belt, too, because, like, the belt piece of, like, the Thunderbolt clothes, I think that's pretty interesting. And plus, I kind of, like, the actor who's playing Shazam, like, the kid version, like, getting the attitude just, like, of when he turns to Shazam is, like, really interesting because, like, okay, he's still acting like a kid. That's really cool. It's not just gonna be, like, Shazam! You're goddamn right. I'm, like...
Zachary Levi
gonna beat somebody up.
Definitely giving me big vibes.
Yeah, like that's what this.
Like he's not acting like too serious. Not like Batman. Just like, oh, my parents were dead. I gotta be super serious now. Or just like Superman. Oh my, I'm different. I gotta be super serious. Just him like, okay, I just got powers now. I don't know what to do, but this is awesome. I'm just gonna do salt and pepper dance all over.
I really hope that there's a chopsticks joke in that movie.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I feel like they would, like, especially if the style they're going for, it really seems like it.
Like,
talk about my love, Captain Caveman.
Wait, who's Captain Caveman?
I assume he's referring to, since we're talking about Shazam, the original wizard Shazam, who's in the cave.
No, Captain Caveman is basically some old Warner Brother cartoon with like a hairy caveman. That's it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what that has to do
Margot talks about him a lot. I'm just saying he's in love with him. Like...
Marco, first the nurses from Silent Hill, now this. You need to check yourself into a psychiatric facility. Anyways.
Oh god.
Also, it's we're also on YouTube as well. So when you see us talk to comments, it's the people on YouTube we're talking to.
Yeah.
I know it gets confusing because we have the chats for both open. So, anyway, is there anything else for Shazam? I think my only other thought would be, I don't know who the villain is, and it's been
me neither. Like
I've had for a long time is, they got The Rock.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Use him.
Use him. Was he gonna be like the teacher? Like, hey, quit picking on him. Just like he does the peck thing.
Yeah. The peck
They're
thing.
like he's the real villain.
Yeah. I actually haven't talked about it yet.
Got it.
I didn't know much about Shazam looking in this trailer, and my expectations of it were basically like what you guys knew around when it was sort of being announced, and it was like, wow, this sounds kind of terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then,
I worry.
honestly, like watching this trailer, like it actually looks like a whole lot of fun. Honestly,
Mhm.
if nothing else,
That's my hope. Is that regardless of how good, bad, whatever it is, that it's a fun DC movie.
I'd love it if like.
I get that reference.
One thing I kind of love it is if it was like a hangout movie, except like one of the main characters is able to turn into a superhero. So it's like it's not like super plot driven or anything. It's just like these characters interacting with each other and being like, "Hey, I can turn into a superhero. That's fucking cool. Let's do some cool shit with that." And just sort of the aspects of them trying to learn from these superpowers and all that sort of stuff. And I just also really like a lot of the interactions with some of the characters, like that. I guess like his stepbrother almost now, the one with the
Or foster brother.
yeah, his foster
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, just like the way that he interacts with him. It actually seems like pretty good chemistry, honestly, from both like the superhero version and the actual kid version.
Yeah.
But it looks
There's
like a
no
whole lot of
reality.
fun.
Time is illusion by gold by.
Bill Cipher.
I love
Bill
that.
Cipher.
Nice.
I
All
thought
right.
that was Karl Marx.
So, anything else with Shazam?
No.
no,
Yeah.
not really. I think
What's
that's
next?
all right.
Aquaman.
Yep. So next
Oh,
up
boy.
is
Wet
Aquaman.
Dave.
You spoiled it. Thanks, Raphael.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I
gonna
get-
go to my
I
solo
honestly
camp
guessed.
to
I
bring
just-
it up,
I
talk
legit
about it.
guessed. I did not look at the like whole lineup thing. I was just like guessing like since we're going to DC thing.
Well, yes. The next one we have to talk
Sorry.
about is the trailer for Aquaman. So I guess I'll start with my thoughts. When they announced the movie and announced that James Wan would be the director, I got very excited because for those of you who don't know, James Wan is a horror director. So a horror director doing a movie about an underwater-based character, I thought the ocean can be just hella scary. So I would love to see that approach to the movie.
Yeah.
But then we got this trailer, and I'll let you guys give your thoughts, and then I'll come back and give my overall to the trailer.
I think that most of the like CGI and all that isn't done yet.
Well,
'Cause,
that's
like,
the thing with
yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
Marvel always waits till the CGI is
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah,
to put
'cause,
out a
like,
trailer.
That's what I'm seeing
DC's
because like
screw it, put it out.
because that's what I'm seeing right now. Just like him when he was a kid, and, like kids pick on him, that shark like hits the glass. Like it's not done yet.
Someone on Twitter posted like that shot along with a shot from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And,
Oh yeah,
and I was like, yeah, that's basically.
this is the origins of,
It
that,
feels-
of Shark Boy.
It feels like if Robert Rodriguez started doing a DC film
Oh my god,
on it, like at least from the visual effects standpoint, there's other aspects.
it's a birthday present for his kid.
Well, maybe I don't know. Well, he's doing Alita Battle Angel or whatever that is, so
What the
he's
hell's
not
that?
actually.
Oh, you haven't seen the trailers for that?
Oh, I can see it after.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it after. I don't.
Yeah.
Have we haven't talked about that on here, have we?
I don't think we have.
Oh, you gotta
I
go.
might
Plasma,
talk about.
see it.
I might talk about it later because it's interesting for
Yeah.
some aspects.
I get that feel. And Plasma, before we go to answer your question, yes, actually the reason we have this green screen wall here is so that we can chroma key it out on occasions depending on what we're doing. This just isn't a show where we really need to do it.
Yeah.
We can use it for like any kind of jokes though. Like say if I don't know, we're like, hey, show the shot from Aquaman as like a joke, then we could.
Show
but
that
we're not
shot
gonna do that
where
in the
Simba's
podcast.
father died right now. You see Simba's dead body right there.
I mean,
Show it.
I'm not going to do the work to do that on this, by the
I
way,
know.
just so you're aware.
I know, but I want someone to do it because like they can record, they could like edit this and just like see, look, dead body right there.
Show the last
Simba's
shot
dead
of Gaudi.
mom or dad. I don't know.
So anyway, hold on, let me mute this. But yeah, so in terms of my thoughts, I kind of had the mixed feelings. I didn't
Yeah.
get some stuff looked cool, like Black Manta.
Oh yeah, I was worried
Damn.
because like if you saw like the set photos, it's just like the one photo, just like him looking at the helmet, like that better be an old suit because like that one isn't like
Mhm.
threatening. Because since we saw like more details of the newer version, just like oh okay, this is looking more badass. This is a cool villain. Like it looks like threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to see what they do for Ocean Master.
Oh definitely.
I was not that impressed by the little bits they did show of him. It's like, okay, they kind of have basically a Black Panther fight for the throne.
yeah.
I assume Aquaman loses, and then it's kind of that thing of where Aquaman kind of needs to redeem himself, and he wins in the final act of the film.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
He stabs him.
But,
Wait,
like,
let me look at the
from-
sunset.
We,
Let me
we
die.
didn't see the actual like Ocean Master suit. There was nothing I saw of him that made me go, Oh man, that villain terrifies me.
Yeah.
If anything, I got that from Black Manta.
Yeah,
I
he
just didn't get
terrified me
that from
more.
Motion
Just like
Master.
him, just like destroying
Motion
everything with his
Master.
like lasers and all that. Just like I see him more as a villain, like
Mhm.
more a bigger threat than
Yeah.
just that guy. Eminem.
Okay. My thoughts on Blade Runner Underwater is
Some of the visuals.
some of the visuals looked
Yeah.
interesting.
I do like that battle scene.
There
Like,
is, I have one thing that I feel like I'm kind of worried about because I'm probably most likely gonna see this, possibly, but I feel like this might have what I would call maybe too dense framing situation where there's just so much stuff happening just like in the span of like one frame that it may be like genuinely too much to handle all at once.
Like the beginning of Justice League.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
boy.
my like what I would call that, because like there's some shots where it's like there's so much stuff happening all at once. I don't know how I'm supposed to process any of it as like, like any information.
Yeah, and this is probably the last thing from the trailer that you should get from it. But do they have literal seahorses?
Yes.
Like, I saw that and I was like, wait, are you really doing that visual
Yes,
gag?
they are.
Wait,
Yes,
oh my
they
God, I
are.
didn't even-
Seahorses that are big enough that they are the size of actual horses.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh my God.
I was like, wait, am I seeing that right? Is that like a weird perspective, or
That-
are they actually that big? And
Or
that's,
they
like,
just
the
really
actual
small
fight?
and the camera's like close or something.
Can-
It's I don't know. Get it from the
genetically
comics.
modified seahorses. Also, okay, so
It's
just
actually
one-
1,000 seahorses put together. So
it's a seahorse Ultron.
he uses his mind like, let's go, and then just like he rides all of them.
But there's one other thing I forgot. I was like, this wasn't exactly what I was expecting James Wan to do in terms of like an Aquaman film. But then I did remember he also directed like Fast and Furious 6 or something like that. So I mean, I kind of get more of that vibe from this in some areas. But yeah, it might be fun. I feel like the story could be a bit like we've seen it
I didn't
before.
see anything from the story that made me go, oh wow, I'm excited to see that plot point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more like, oh,
But like also like the visual effects, like again, it's probably just maybe unfinished, maybe a little cleanup later, but
Or it's DC being DC.
yeah.
Let's be honest, Henry Cavill's mustache.
and what the fuck was his name? The villain from Justice League.
Doomsday or
No,
Lex
that was a
Luthor
Doom-
or
No,
oh, Justice League. That's right. Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Loki.
Yeah. Steppenwolf.
But
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing. Just like Loki evades Earth,
At
has an
least-
army, they defeat him.
Well, no,
it's
Loki was
Universal.
endearing as a villain.
And
Oh,
also
yeah.
looked real.
Ooh.
Like okay, so like Steppenwolf looks like a genuine PS3 like cutscene character.
Yeah.
Dang.
Anyways, that's my thoughts on
Yeah.
Aquaman. It might be fun. Maybe it won't. I don't know.
I
It's
want it to
DC.
be good. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of DC movie to where it's like, could be good, or it could not be.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Could
my
be a
chips
good
are kind
actor.
of- I've lost all my chips and caring on DC at
It
this
could
point.
be like-
I'm in the reboot camp now.
Yeah. It could be like good, like good
Kill it
character,
now.
like good character, bad story. Could be that, or it
So-
could be good story, bad character. We never know.
Which also, this isn't on here, but you're the appropriate place to add it in. The Reign of Superman movie, because they just dropped on Netflix, I believe.
Yeah,
The
Superman.
Death of Superman. So the animated DC universe.
Oh yeah.
So, which, do you know that whole plot point from Batman v Superman where Superman died
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
second movie he's ever been in? The DC animated movies, they've had like 12 in their universe, and they're
definitely.
they just got to the Death of Superman. It was actually done pretty well. I haven't seen the whole film yet, but I've seen like the back half, which probably isn't the half to watch.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it is the half worth Superman's death, basically, and it is really cool because just to show the difference between Batman v Superman and the Death of Superman animated movie, Batman v Superman, whole movie of Batman versus Superman. Then at the very end, shit, Doomsday's here. What? Superman's dead. In this
Shit.
whole movie, it's literally Doomsday's story. So it starts with Doomsday. He breaks out. Then you see every member of the Justice League,
Try to
except
take
for
him down.
Superman, team up to try and take him down, which shows how powerful Doomsday is.
Yeah.
I thought that was really smart. You
Yeah.
see Hawkman go in, get his ass kicked.
You see Aquaman.
Green Lantern go in, get his ass
You
kicked.
see Wonder Woman go in, like
Wonder Woman's the last person in because
Yeah.
she's almost equal power to Superman.
Yeah.
She stands the most chance. but to the point where Doomsday broke her sword in half and was about to like stab her heart with that broken half. And the animated movies, they're animated, but they're brutal. Like,
Yeah,
there's a
it's
scene
like
of Doomsday smashing cops with cars,
yeah.
Shit.
and you just see the road, just blood
Yeah.
pouring out.
Damn.
Like,
They go that far,
They're
and I
graphic.
love
Okay.
it, dude. That's why I like the animated universe.
Yeah.
That's like more. That's like much better.
but anyway, the death of Superman, I thought was handled very well. So then the next movie they're doing is The Reign of Superman, which is based off a cartoon storyline where Superman's been dead for a while, but holy crap, he's back! And wait, there's another Superman that's back.
And another.
And another, and
And
another,
another,
and there
and
are 4
another.
Supermen, and no one knows who's the real one.
Or just
So
like
that's
what's
the reign
going
of
on.
Superman.
Yeah.
Don't shoot him. I'm the real Superman. No, I'm the real
And
Superman.
then
Shoot me, I can block it.
Then after that, it's the return of Superman, where the actual Superman comes back and kicks all their asses.
Oh.
So
That's gonna be great.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a Reign of Superman movie to introduce the 4 new Supermen, and then have a Return of Superman movie. Because from what the DC animated movies have been doing, they're very good about not cramming too much in. So I have a feeling they'll handle it appropriately
I
and
really,
have a Reign of Superman movie, then a Return of Superman
I
movie.
really hope for like with the Return of Superman, they just like get the nice black suit. I don't know, just like I like that, like just like or maybe him with a beard. I don't know, like you know.
I would have liked to see that in
Yeah.
Justice League.
Yeah,
The beard.
I was really hoping for like the black suit. And
Maybe
just the
that's
beard.
how they could have countered the mustache thing. Instead of just
They
doing
could have
that,
just done. They could have just given him a beard. It could have
Okay,
worked.
Here's the question: do you think it would have been easier for them to CGI a beard onto
Yes.
him,
Yeah.
Yes.
as opposed to taking the
Yes.
mustache off?
Yeah.
Because that would
Yeah.
be.
Yes, they just had to put dots around his chin or something, and then just like.
But anyway, that
Professional.
aside,
Sorry.
yeah. So DC animated movies are overall good. There's some stuff in there that I'm not a big fan of,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion. Like some of the designs, I'm not totally in favor of. They're not bad.
Also, some of the Batman films are not great.
Which
Yeah.
ones?
Like the one that was shown in theaters for like.
Well, that's
Oh,
not part of that universe.
No,
though.
it's just
Oh,
like they
okay.
wanted to
I
tell
wasn't
that.
sure if it
They just
was-
wanted to tell
yeah.
that story.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Like, I know like there's some Batman animated films, but I just didn't
Yeah.
know if they had any
Trust me, you just
correlation.
had to skip like 23 or 43 minutes of that story to get to the real story or something.
And like I thought Justice League Dark was a little weird. I wasn't a totally big fan of that one.
Yeah.
But like they have a better track record than the live action movies.
I like
I'll
the
say
Flash. I like the Flash one that they did.
That. Are you talking about Flashpoint?
Yes.
Yes.
I
that
love
was
that one.
done
And also
very
like
well.
the Suicide Squad one, how it connected to that one. Like, yeah, I'm not dead. See,
dead.
like, you know, he may have shot me in the head, but I'm in an endless loop of
Well,
pain.
And the animated movies are very close to the comics.
Oh, definitely. Of course they are. It's just like, ooh.
I also feel like it kind of has the added benefit of being animated, so you can have like that aspect of being very close to the comics by being,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Plus, you get to do things that won't, like, you know, things you have to make.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
also the other things. Like you can basically create everything in
I mean,
animation.
Yeah, I really noticed the power of animation in the Death of Superman movie because there's the fight on the San Francisco bridge that was so awesome, but I know there's be no way they could do that even with CGI.
Yeah.
It was literally like you saw the bridge just totally be destroyed
Oh,
by the
yeah.
end of the fight.
Yeah.
Like think Man of Steel on crack like type of fight.
Yeah, and so it's like
A lot
and
of lens flares just, like, zoom out,
also-
zoom in. Ooh.
also like even if they did have the money and ability to create it, you wouldn't want to. It just probably wouldn't look the same way.
Yeah. It'd probably look wonky and just, like, there'll be a video like, wow, why this scene is unfinished, and just, like, you know, you
Yeah,
can see,
exactly.
like, boom, 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 circles, and then, like, I don't know, he talks about every little detail, and then, like, I'll also donate to my Patreon, because I need money.
That was weirdly specific.
Yeah. It's every YouTuber.
I guess, yeah.
When it comes to, like, movie
Yeah.
critiques.
Also, yeah, like, and that's also one thing is like visual effects for DC films are kind of garbage at this point. So yeah, like having the animated films be able to do some like really interesting cinematic stuff kind of helps in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even from a cinematography standpoint, the last animated movie was beautiful in some of the fight scenes. Like they were
Yeah.
shot awesomely and animated. Like it was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can have a beautiful looking film and animation. It's you just need to know how color works and how framing works.
Yeah, well,
Essentially.
especially framing was awesome with the highway or the bridge fight they did. But anyway,
The trailers.
talked about this for far too long. Let's kind of get going on some stuff because we got a lot to talk about. on this.
Alright.
We do. Yeah.
So we'll just kind of maybe breeze through the next one, especially because the very next one we have a movie review of on this channel. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
Care to explain?
It is the 6th Mission Impossible film to be currently released. All of them with like friggin' Tom Cruise in it because he can't die. But
Keep going.
I am actually a pretty decent fan of the Mission Impossible films. Like, honestly, they're kind of dumb, but they're in a way that's like it's self-aware and is like, you know, like it's aware of it, but it's like it embraces it rather than be like, no, it's deep and it makes sense or whatever. But this is probably the best one, honestly. Like, and it was surprising because this director worked on the previous film, which was good, but nothing really like my favorite of the bunch. But this was fantastic. Like, some of the action sequences are kind of genuinely mind-boggling. Like, doing a halo jump, driving on a motorcycle through like France with like cars coming at you at the same time, and driving a helicopter through a canyon in like the fucking Himalayas with Tom Cruise actually driving said helicopter and doing like some maneuver that apparently like most professional helicopter drivers wouldn't do. But yeah. And almost falling off a fucking helicopter too during one of the takes and keeping it in the film. Because there's a moment in the film where he's trying to like climb up this helicopter because the bad guy is up there. And he actually, like, trips. Like, it wasn't part of the scene. He actually tripped.
Oh, damn.
And he almost fell off that. But he didn't. He made it out and it was, like, dangling onto the last, like, little bit of the helicopter that was dangling down. And they kept it in. And it was like,
wow.
What the fuck?
I mean...
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the power of Tom Cruise.
If you want more information, watch Luke's movie review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Praise the Lord Tom Cruise and his unwillingness to die.
It's only 5'7". He's 5'7".
Yeah, he's also 5'7",
my height,
which is really funny.
Yeah.
But
well, it's funny because everyone in Hollywood says that he's short.
yeah, but it's still like a fucking like invincible piece of.
You can take someone
next
down.
on the list, which is kind of a much bigger conversation, but there'll be a movie review of at some point in the not too far future. Teen Titans Go to the Movie.
I'm surprised.
Which kind of use as a bounce pad into the Teen Titans Season 6 possibility.
Yeah.
At the end of that.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm very surprised how well it's doing. The fact that it's just like the reviews and just like the Rotten Tomatoes like, you know, reviews on it, just like, dang, I was like thinking that like people were just gonna like backslash us how they do it for the show, but just like okay.
Luke, I just see your facial expression just...
Well, what happened? What happened?
Okay, so, like, it's not the worst thing ever, but, like, just watching it, like, especially, like, in a theater by myself and, like, watching it with, like, a bunch of kids that are actually kind of into it, and me being, like, one of the only people in there that was just, like, slumped in my seat, like...
Bored?
Like, not even bored, I just felt like... I've known the Teen Titans series since like it was like first started going like in 2003. Like I remember that. I can still pinpoint that time when I was like super into it. And just watching this, it's just like I didn't even feel like hate or just like annoyance. I just didn't feel anything at all. And I feel like that's mostly just the fact that I'm now like a sad adult or close to adult. Got like another
to adulthood
4 or 5 months left. But yeah, just like watching it, I was just like it's a movie. People enjoy it, kids will enjoy it, and they'll have, you know, like, good memories about it later in the future, but I can't, because I don't feel anything towards this. It's just sort of boring. Watching Slade being played by Will Arnett was just kind of like, that's a thing, I guess, now. Alright.
Is that going to be your review on it, or someone's
with
review?
that said, well, let's not spoil the review. With that said, what are your guys' thoughts on them bringing back the original Teen Titans show, though?
I hope they put on Adult Swim.
That'd be cool.
Well, it looks like it would go to the new DC streaming service.
Oh, yeah, true. Yep, true. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be interesting if they, like, you know, could keep the art style like it, because, like, you gotta consider since, like, it was made... And it, like, it ended around, like, 2008?
7 or 8.
Yeah, and, like, them, like, trying to update with the new, like, you know, different ways to animate it. I am curious to see how they would do it and, like, continue the story. Will they leave it off?
I think it's just going to take place immediately where they left it off. And it's like an unpause. After this many years, but still an unpause.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting, because, like, the last episode was kind of ambiguous, honestly. For like Teen Titans, like the original series, of course.
Yeah, and how we just like ran into the glowing door, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. It was like kind of abstractly ambiguous. So it's sort of like, what are they gonna go?
It was a
then?
metaphor for, I don't know.
It's a metaphor.
We're moving on.
Probably,
But then people want it back, so it came back. Eventually.
It does work like that, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they get some of the same people who worked on the show to do it.
I bet they will.
Well, if the crew is wanting to work on it, at least, and you don't like force the same people
on their
to work
Twitter,
on
they
something.
did kind of mention it. Like,
They
you know,
did?
like, wait after for, like, you know, if you're gonna see Teen Titans Go, wait for the after credit.
Yeah,
That's what it kind of said, but just, like,
Yeah.
other things, too, to promote the movie as well.
Yeah.
Well, especially because it's the same voice actor.
Yeah.
So they
That too, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
would know something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
They would, I guess. Apparently, they know more than the people who were actually running the show, because I remember back when Teen Titans Go was first starting up, there's an interview with like the guys who were basically like screenwriting the series, and they were asked like, "Oh, what is your opinion on the original show?" And like both of them's like, "We never watched the original show. We don't know anything about it. It looks fun." And that was the end of the interview.
Was it like 2 minutes? Was it like a 2-minute review or like a 5-minute one?
I think it was like 5 minutes, but it was just funny because that was like one of the segments. I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm like, oh, what's your favorite character? Batman. What?
Robin
He's
Boy.
He's not even in it. Oh.
Alright. So next on the list, something that will also kind of springboard into another conversation is the Venom trailer
Oh boy.
that came out. And on top of that, the news that they're looking for a PG-13 rating, not an R rating like it has been highly theorized, because they're trying to, if a PG-13 rating is what the movie gets, it would be easier for them to cross it over with a Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Where this was a rated R, they either have to dumb down Venom, or ramp up Spider-Man, which there's no way they can.
Yeah.
So
So
it'll
trying
be
to make it.
easier for them to have Venom baseline at a PG-13 movie
Ooh.
to kind of sweeten the deal with Marvel.
I also heard about that. Just like if the Venom movie does do well, they'll continue to like their own weird cinematic universe as well. Like with Black Cat getting its own movie.
Well, yeah, which
like-
got put on the shelf.
Yeah,
But
but it's also like
Yeah.
the game of just like, is it gonna do well? Will Venom do well? Because like if so, they got their own thing going on, and then like hopefully they'll get to that part where where we will see like a Spider-Man and Venom movie,
Yeah.
like epic fight against that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I talk about like thoughts on the trailer, one thing I kind of want to say about this whole like changing the R rating to PG-13. There's a film later on in our list. I won't specify what it is. That had a similar issue, where it was like, so I'm assuming like Venom was kind of filmed to possibly be R rated, but now is turning into PG-13.
either that or they just finally came out and announced that they were looking for PG-13. But either or.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like if it's that second one, then it's like, okay, sure, that's fine. But if they originally, like, they basically filmed the scenes to be like R-rated in the first place, and now they're making it PG-13, one film on this list had that same issue, and basically half the film was cut out, and then it became about nothing.
Ooh.
I won't tell you what it is
Nice.
yet, but we'll talk
Oh,
about
I
it.
think I have a theory.
Yeah, I think you may have a theory. Yeah,
Is it a game theory?
it's a creepypasta theory.
Oh,
So,
damn.
yeah. Anything else to say about Venom? I guess my thoughts are still pretty much the same from my trailer reaction of it.
It could be interesting. It might
I
be
like
fun.
the
I hope.
design of
I
Venom.
still hope that it's good.
I like the design of him.
Mhm.
I like that it's showing just like, you know, Venom will be in the movie. Trust me, it's not going to be one of those just like
Yeah.
it
They went
says
quickly after that
this.
teaser to be like, we won't reveal Venom's design until the movie. Shit, the internet's going crazy. Release it, put it everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't care. Make
everywhere.
posters, make like show his body. I don't care. Just like show that we got Venom. Oof.
Yeah. My thoughts on the trailer are it could be fun. It seems like it might be fun. Some of the dialogue though, like some of the lines were a bit painful. Like that last one. Like that last one was like
The third one.
that. Yeah, the
Like a turd.
like a third in the wind. And I'm just like, who has ever said that? But also,
Him.
that's dumb. And my other issue is the design looks interesting, but the visual effect kind of looks awful in some areas. Like there's one shot that looks like, I'm assuming like Venom versus Carnage or whatever.
It's
Where-
another.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Riot. Oh. Same
No, it's
That's the same. Carnage and Grime means the same thing to me. But like essentially, like there's a shot where it's like it's almost like they're like the symbiote is like coming off them, and it looks so awful. I almost kind of laughed while watching it at one point. But the rest of it seems fine. It looks like it might be fun, but I'm just sort of hoping it doesn't become like edge overload.
Edgelord.
No, just edge overload.
So also, before we move on, I just want to point out that we do sound checks before we record this, and it's always fine by the end. But then something changes by the time the podcast goes, and it leads to me. This is typically why for like Out of Sync Stories, I'm TDing over there, and the Out of Sync Stories podcast has great audio.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to do audio and talk and do all this stuff, I can't for the life of me figure it out. So my apologies this episode for the little bits of echo, and I'm still working on it now. But I just wanted to talk about it because it wasn't as quick of a fix as I'd hoped. So if I just randomly start talking like I am now, it's because there's about a 30-second to 1 minute delay there. So I'll hear my voice make a change, then have to wait another 30 seconds to hear if it made a difference.
Dang.
Fair enough, yeah.
But anyway, so next on the list we got Christopher Robin.
I
No, nothing about it.
I overall liked it. It had some big problems, but overall I liked it.
Okay, so I'll say one thing. There's no way I can say that I won't like it, because honestly, it's like something so genuinely pure and innocent that I can't be like, it's terrible, it's trash, because then I'd actually feel like a piece of garbage. But I don't think it could be so much better than it could have been. It really could have been. I thought it was going like, it seemed like it tried to go for an emotional route with like how it handled the characters, but then it just kind of gave up a little bit.
Yeah.
In some areas, and especially that last third, it feels like there was like...
Well, each act felt like it could have been its own movie.
That
like,
too, yeah.
There was no story thread. It was, now they're here, now they're here, now they're here.
Yeah.
Now it's there.
They couldn't, like, it's like if they made one segment of the film like a movie, be like, this is too short, but we want to make it like at least an hour and a half. Then they had to like add a bunch of kind of filler to it in areas. Especially, like, in the middle.
Yeah, the pacing overall is just not good.
Nah. Yeah, I like the visual effects and kind of the way it looked. But yeah, like, I thought it was going to be more interesting in the way it kind of dealt with, like, the moving on from childhood, the way of, like, becoming an adult, and how that kind of... You lose something in that. But it didn't really go the way I was hoping it would. I thought it would be, like... A good example, I'd say, is, have any of you guys seen the Where the Wild Things Are film back, like, from 2009?
Yeah.
That's something that's, like, so much better now, looking back at it as, like, you know, like, more older, because it's, like, the perfect, like, realizing you're growing up and having to kind of, like, cope with that.
Or the thing that I always go back to is Hook is another example
That too,
where
yeah.
what I saw this film could have been.
Yeah. That, like, and that was able to be kind of both fun, but still have, like, little melancholy aspects of that. Whereas this one seemed like it was trying to go for the melancholy, and then just was like, hey, here's a joke every once in a while that doesn't really work and is kind of awkward. But yeah, it's super mixed for me, honestly. It's like a massively mixed bag.
Yeah, so it had potential, and
it did, yeah.
Again, overall, I thought there were more pros than cons, but the cons were just so glaring that you couldn't really ignore them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Have you seen it, Raphael?
No.
Okay. Well, then moving on to
moving right along.
The Jaws of this generation.
Meg.
Or the Meg.
Yeah. Yeah, son. I haven't seen it. I just think it looks really funny.
I haven't seen it either. I don't want to see it.
I actually thoroughly enjoy the trailer. Like, when I go to see a movie and that trailer goes on, I'm like, yes.
That trailer's fun.
The trailer's a good combination of, it starts off like super kind of creepy and scary. The visual of the Megalodon coming up to the glass is terrifying.
That actually is pretty good.
Then it goes to the
somewhere beyond the sea.
I got a little story.
And then the tone just does a 180.
Yeah. Then it's like it becomes a self-aware, like, sci-fi film, both like a massive budget.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that. And honestly, okay, so here's a funny story. So me and Marco went to go see a movie that we'll talk about later. But honestly, like, thinking about it now, it was a bit of a mistake, and I wish we would have seen the Meg. because we would have gotten more out of it. But yeah, like it seems like it looks dumb. Like that's undeniable. But it looks like a knowingly
It could be
dumb.
a fun dumb.
It's. Here's the thing about dumb. It can be good if you embrace it and are able to make something creative out of it. If you're like, it's not dumb, it's serious, then you lose it. Like, say if they try to like justify why there's a fucking megalodon in the middle of like the Pacific Ocean.
I was like,
'Cause why
that
not?
beach is not deep enough to have a megalodon that close to the shore.
It's just like,
kind of, yeah.
It was like going right up to the land. It's like, beaches don't work like that.
They work like that. No, wait.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
reverse, man. It's like,
We're like, wait.
there are dip-offs, but not enough for a megalodon.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. It's...
I feel like it'll be stuck. Like, we need to save the megas. It's
No,
suffocating.
this is totally just gonna be a Jaws. Like,
We're gonna need a giant boat, and it's just like they're reenacting
You
like
know,
Jaws,
the
but with
problem
bigger
with Jaws-
stuff.
the shark wasn't big enough.
Yeah. We gotta do it bigger.
That was the one thing that movie was missing.
That needs to
That
be
and
bigger.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, Jason Statham, of course. Fucking Roy Schneider shouldn't have been there in the first place. Should have been Jason Statham.
But anyway.
need a bigger boat.
But now onto the movie you were alluding to
Oh.
that you saw with
Slendy.
Marco.
Actually, can I just say one
Go
thing
for
about... I haven't seen The Meg, but I've been told from friends that the film ends with the title card Finn.
Oh my gosh,
And
no way.
that's
That's clever.
amazing.
Wait.
Explain
That's
what
clever.
Finn means in terms of the movie.
No, like
Isn't-
I do. It's just like
No, to the audience.
Essentially, Finn is another way of saying, like, oh, the end. I don't know if it, like, it's like it's a the end in a different, like, language.
It is a different language.
Oh,
I wanna
okay.
say French.
I probably, but like yeah, so Finn essentially means the end or the film is over, any of that sort of thing. But yeah, so they put Finn for the fucking
that's
Meg,
great.
and I'm just like,
That's clever.
you guys knew what you were doing. You guys knew what you're doing. Whoever put that title card gets an extra $50.
50 bucks.
Oh man, that's.
All right,
great.
let's
That's
go
awesome.
on to Slendy Boy.
Yeah,
Now
well,
let's-
thanks for spoiling it again.
Well, you
God.
said
I know. I didn't say the movie.
you just
but-
said
One of these days, Raphael,
what?
you're gonna lose a head.
Anyway, but yes, Luke, Slenderman.
Is that from the
Um,
movie?
A movie that should have come out like what, 5,
Six.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
When was 2012 again? 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Channel.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody did kind of make a movie.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah.
Well, this movie I'm saying should have come out.
Yeah.
And not 6 years too late.
Yeah, well, actually, for a lot of reasons. Okay, so yeah, me and Marco drove like 20 minutes out to watch the fucking Slenderman movie.
Slendy man.
And I was so excited for this. Do you want to know why?
Why were you excited?
Because of the
Why?
memes. Because we were expecting this to be like the most idiotic bullshit possible. Something like, you know, a so bad it's good, like Gotti. Like Gotti right now is my like so bad it's good movie of the year, which may be beaten out by the new Neil Breen film, but that's besides the point.
Oh,
Anyways, I was expecting this to be like a trash masterpiece. It was trash, but nothing about it was fun. Nothing about it. Okay, so like, there's barely a plot. Okay,
Okay. Got it.
and one of the reasons that is because this film was originally going to be rated R, but then they cut it down as a PG-13 film. So that's why, if you look at the trailer, nothing in that trailer ever happens in the film,
Oh.
but it's
Yay.
the most boring, like, I might as well be looking at paint drying kind of film. It's, okay, so, I'll say this. So, I worked as the director of photography on The Knock, and I can admit, you know, some shots are a bit dark, they're kind of hard to see. This, I could barely see fucking anything.
Oh my
For
God.
1/4 of this 90-minute film, I could not see anything.
Well,
Wait,
that's
how long
also
was
keep in
it?
mind,
90
in
minute.
a totally black theater auditorium.
Ew.
Imagine watching that during the day on TV.
Yeah, or on your phone, or on like, on a computer, like, where it's more digitized. But yeah, like, this is a theater that I know, like, it's not like the Solo thing where it's like, oh, some theaters aren't projecting the film properly, so it's harder to see. This was a good theater. It's a good theater, I can verify this. And yeah, I could still barely see shit happening.
Damn, dude.
It also is ugly to look at, the acting sucks, the dialogue is a joke. Okay, so there's a line, you might have heard, like, part of it from the trailer where it's like, oh, he gets in your head like a virus. But in the film, they clarify by saying, not like a brain virus, like a computer virus.
You know, Marco told me part of that movie.
Yeah.
Just like
Also,
they
I
kind of copied like one other like movie too.
Oh, it's okay. It's The Ring. It's
Yeah.
The Ring, except it's on YouTube. They find the. Also,
that's
okay,
so fucking.
there's a
What that totally messes with the actual Slenderman lore, though, right?
exactly.
Yeah, like
That's
they gotta
why
read creepypastas.
They still. The thing is, they still keep
man.
that lore in somehow. Like the whole like, oh, in the olden days it was like the Pied Piper or like all these things that stole children. Except for the fact it's like, wait, then why do you summon it through a YouTube video?
Well, yeah, that's what they used to do in the 1800s. They pull up ye old YouTube.
I need to look up ye old Logan Paul. But
Just write Logan Paul on a piece of paper and just throw it away.
that's how you
He
search up.
appears. What up, bro? We're going to
Yeah,
Suicide
and the guy
Forest.
walks over, like,
Maybe like in the
Let's
olden.
go fight somebody for money.
Maybe someone would like send a letter to summon Slenderman and they do it on stage.
Dear
But-
Slenderman, please come to my house.
But
so I can
like
show my
it's so
friends.
boring. But there's also something I found out recently that I didn't even realize. Okay, so supposedly, like I think it was like as long as like a year ago, there was an actual real life like crime associated with the Slenderman film, with like the Slenderman character, where
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
the whole Milwaukee situation.
Yeah, they didn't show it at
And
that place.
so when this film was being made, a lot of the people who were affected by this like event were like, "You shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't do that." And they were like, "All right, fine, we'll cut out the violence." But they didn't cut out the stuff that was like a parallel to the event.
Ooh.
So it's not only a boring, terrible movie, but it's kind of fucking immoral and disgusting in that sense, where they're like, alright, fine, we won't have it be super violent, we'll keep it PG-13. But we will have a scene where this girl takes this other girl's dot,
Dot.
other girl's sister into the woods to
Sister Dot.
to sacrifice it to the Slenderman.
Wow, that is like super spot
That-
on.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
not familiar. What?
Yeah.
At all, that
Because,
whole
like-
situation.
That's like, okay, so like I was originally like, this may be bad, but I don't know if I would say it's like the worst film I've seen this year. It's almost there. Then I heard about that, I was like, you know what, that's like the little
Why didn't
bit.
they just keep it like kind of just like the games? Like a guy got kind of
See, that's what I thought would be awesome.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
that'd
too,
be
that's
interesting. Just like his power, like the car's down, and just like he searches around, but then he hears
Make
something,
it
he runs
a
out.
no context
Yeah.
kind of film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main character just is like out here. He got lost in the woods, and it's a 2 hour it shouldn't be 2 hour.
Hour and-
45 or hour.
That's
and a half
about right.
Chase from hell, where he's trying to find clues about like what's going on.
Yeah.
There could not even be like any dialogue.
Yeah.
Also, it could be like instead of this film shows the Slenderman in like pretty decent shots. What if like it was like a nighttime film, like in the forest, and you only just sometimes saw him like through a brief frame, like as he turned his flashlight. That would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh look, he's over there in the
He's right-
moonlight.
Slenderman's
right
just
there.
waving, like, hi.
He did actually wave at one point.
Fun
with,
fact.
like his tentacle thing.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
the guy who plays Slenderman is like he has a description of him like he has like long ass fingers. Like I looked him up to see like wait who played him? Did they like CGI it or just like no? It's just like an actual guy in a costume.
Oh.
Like I shit you not. Just like look him up. He fits the role. Like he
Yeah.
even did like a few other ones like Mama.
Oh yeah, Mama.
Yeah, and I think It too. Like
Oh,
that
It.
creepy lady in the painting. He did.
Yeah,
He did that too.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's a
Oh, I see what you mean.
big
Yeah.
it's a big dumpster fire of a movie that's
Looking
like
up now.
yeah like
Yeah.
that's
Weird, right?
yeah
Yeah.
that's the thing I was mentioning
Ooh.
with the whole like maybe turning Venom in from radar to PG-13 isn't a good idea because that's what we got with Slenderman. But then again, like just it wasn't like they were making like a dramatic piece about like the effects of something like this. It wasn't like trying to take like it seriously. Like that aspect of the almost murder thing that happened. It was more just a cash grab.
Oh
And
wow.
in that case,
Well, this
Yeah.
is a cash grab. You should have made it 6 years ago when there was more of an audience. for it.
Yeah.
also like okay, and also if
It's
if
hit.
like, if your production on the film was so like basically a disaster to the point where you're like cutting out half your film, just scrap it by this point. Why even bother? You waste enough money and nobody's gonna go see it by that point because of how like immorally it's like not right to bring this movie out. Like essentially Milwaukee was like banning it from their theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a
Yeah,
lot of
I was
sense.
trying to bring that up, but then I forgot like the place
Yeah,
it
Milwaukee.
happened.
Yeah, from like a 30-mile radius, apparently, like Milwaukee was shut down. I watched a review of this where they're like, we literally just had to drive to like a theater in the other city to see this film. We wish we didn't now, but
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to remember what else. Like, I don't know. There's like something else I wanted to talk about this film.
Oh, also it has like the most anticlimactic ending ever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
that was it. Like the shitty ending.
Yeah, I guess. Is it fine if I spoil it, or should I not spoil
Mark
it?
already spoiled it. Oh.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can have it spoiled. I'm talking about the audience.
Spoil it for me. I don't care.
So I'd say let's not right now, but now that it. Thanks.
I'm sorry.
But like, I won't say what happens, but let's just say like it barely qualifies for an ending. It's like the movie just stops. It's just like, we've seen enough of this shit. Let's get on.
What would you have done if it said Slenderman will return in part 2?
I would fucking
With
scream.
Freddy Cougar and Jason and Chucky.
No, just Slender. It's another 2 hours of what you just saw.
Oh, just like different kids
no
this time.
change, just
No
Oh
change.
Jesus Christ! I
Oh,
feel
God.
like.
like the Hangover part 1, part 2, part 3.
God damn it.
Slender 2. They don't add man.
God.
Slender Man. No, Slender 2.
Then it's the Slender.
Yeah. And then like Man 4.
Yeah. You know, do you know what
the
the
man, and then that's it.
You know what the real indicator was that this was gonna be a shitty movie?
What?
The Sony logo showed up.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well,
that
speaking
was.
of Sony, the
yeah.
next thing we have to talk about is the updates around Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they're shooting that right now, and they confirmed that Nick Fury and Maria Hill will be in the movie, which is awesome.
Nice.
But
Especially-
wait. So, well, I mean, this is a whole like Infinity War thing that's gonna make this confusing for me because I feel like this is either gonna spoil it or they're just gonna be like, this happened before Infinity War.
I don't think it.
No, this
what
is, like,
they said,
after.
This is in the moments after Avengers
Yeah.
4.
It's like right after.
So
Kinda
we
like-
know that Spider-Man comes back.
Fury's back.
Fury's back, and Maria Hill comes
Yeah.
back.
But not so
after
sure
Avengers
about like
We
you
don't
know.
know how.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess.
But you also got to consider like
That's kind of
like they didn't mention like who else is in there like
Yeah.
Robert.
4. It looks like instead
Yeah.
Iron Man's role in the first Homecoming is going to be what Nick Fury's role is in this one.
Which that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I guess.
And it
which-
also makes you think like
Well-
you know like well what happened to him? Ooh.
Well, I assume that they just want a different
Yeah. Or that that too.
A-lister
Yeah.
in every movie. So it doesn't
I mean like
involve-
that could be right, but just like
Also,
again.
the thing that I find kind of awesome is a lot of people have been talking about the scene from A Winter Soldier, which was the last big movie Nick Fury was a big part of, where Nick Fury just totally shuts down Cap, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna have to totally shut down a kid, basically. Like,
Oh,
because in
God.
that movie, Captain America's like, I'm an optimist, and Nick Fury does the equivalent of, shut up, motherfucker. Like,
You fucking
like,
idiot.
you're a dumbass, and like that kind of stuff. And it's like, he's gonna do that to Spider-Man.
He's gonna
Wow.
he's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna break the rule. He's
'Cause,
gonna
like,
break
Nick
his little
Fury
mind.
is an absolute realist, cynic.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
that was that Spider-Man. I'm gonna do good and save the day mentality. That's gonna be.
That's
awesome
not gonna
back and
work.
forth.
It's gonna be
Kind of
like,
like, you know,
oof.
you're gonna have to sacrifice somebody one day for the greater good, or just like you're
The
gonna have to
greater
do
good.
something that
So-
people might not like.
Mhm. But yeah, I'm really curious about that. But the other stuff they've said, they have not confirmed Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio yet, even though everyone's
Fuck.
saying.
Ah, come
Now I have
on.
less interest in this movie now.
Well, they haven't confirmed it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
What about
once they
Captain?
do? Once they do.
What about
Yeah.
Captain England?
Well, it's actually interesting because it looks like,
Captain England.
even though Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio would be the main villain,
Yeah.
there are going to be other ones, kind of like
Like
how.
Scorpion, right?
Well, yeah. Also, Michael Keaton's coming back as Vulture.
Yay.
Don't know how.
Maybe he escaped. You don't
Well, at
know.
least there's that,
Well,
I
again,
guess.
though,
Yeah.
like, what role does he play to the story though? Because it ended and he's kind of that.
Yeah.
I
more
felt like we
good
kind of
guy.
talked about this. Like maybe he's just like, I don't know. I feel like he'll kind of warn Pete something like, "Hey Pete, like I'm like I don't know something like
Hey,
out of
Pete.
rant like hey Pete, like hey Spider Boy or something like that. I don't know.
Or does that? He comes in, hey Spider Boy, leaves. That's his whole role in the film. Like,
Oh,
what are
God.
you getting to? Like,
No, just like maybe he's
I
just
broke
like
out
you
of
know like
jail.
I'm warning
Bye.
like you know like someone's coming after you or all that. I don't know like
They're coming after
something
you.
like that to the fact that just like at the end of like Homecoming he did protect his like identity all that like if I knew who he was I would have killed him by now. I feel like something like that like I have to tell you something like there's this guy with the helmet he's like more like he's more dangerous than me or something. I don't know. I
But
feel like
also,
something like that would happen. Not just
The-
like he's Spider-Boy.
the real shocker for me is it looks like this is kind of a lead-in to Sinister Six, because then they have
Ooh.
Mysterio, Vulture coming back, looks like Scorpion,
Yeah.
and then another person who they haven't confirmed, but from everything on set they showed looks like is a villain, Hydro Man.
Who's Hydro Man?
Think Sandman but water.
Ah, okay. Oh, the one
Okay.
scene that he showed about like doing his own stunts.
So he's a
Okay, that makes-
waterbender.
Yeah.
Kind of. He's made of water, and yeah. But also, so this film takes
Okay.
place moments after Avengers 4, which is kind of a spoiler for Avengers 4.
Yeah,
But
kind of like for
also,
Guardians
The
3.
pitch for it is
We'll get to that
immediately after
later.
Avengers 4, Spider-Man goes on summer vacation with his friends. like,
That's awkward. So I
That's
just died.
what you
Can I
do?
vacate?
like,
I'm not gonna
man,
cope.
That was really stressful. Just died, came back and saved the world.
Wow, I was in
Let's
some.
go on summer
we-
vacation.
Well, I was
still
just
don't,
in
we
some
still don't
universe.
Even, yeah, we don't even know yet if everyone comes back after that. If it's every single person that comes back, it's like if like there's still like half the world is dead and they go back home and it's like that's fucking
Well,
empty and sad
I
here.
disagree with this. A lot of people theorized it, but there are people who think that a year takes place between Infinity Wars and Avengers 4.
Which is me.
In which case, what the fuck did that mean for him in high school? Does he have to redo that year? Does he continue that? And what the fuck does summer
That's a good
vacation mean? Wouldn't like half of humanity have to, or if not all humanity, have to redo that year of school? Like that totally messes
Yeah.
up that. Yeah, so every year he's in a different stage of high school. If he died for a year, what does that mean for that plan?
It's like
You got a
if Red-
lot of school. You got a lot of summer homework for you,
Like,
buddy.
hey, I'm 20 and I'm still in high school. Okay, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like
Hey.
what?
It's like if Red for Red happened for an entire year.
Oh my
Like-
god. That's
Well,
just like
you
another
realize
thing.
None of our audience is gonna get that joke.
Some of them might.
Anyway,
Somebody will.
But it's like that totally. And again, how do you be like, oh man, I came back to life and missed an entire year of existence. Summer vacation, woohoo! What the hell?
Homework.
Yeah.
You got homework, buddy. Come on. Like you died a year. Well, that sucks. But guess what?
Well, not just you died a year ago. Half of humanity died
Yeah.
a year ago.
How do you
Do
deal
you
with
think they
that
have a
shit?
system thing? Just like, all right, like for the people who are absent for a whole year.
Even the people who are here, you think they're really gonna go to school and they
No.
lost half their friends and family?
I really
I like to
doubt
think.
it.
Also, I like to think like so. Thanos' thing is like killing half the universe, but that doesn't mean like if like a high school had some people die, it's like oh only half of the people. There's a possibility like the entire school just
Yeah,
died.
That's true.
So
Just
like,
maybe like 10 kids survive. Like oh shit.
so maybe there's some people who's like, well shit, I guess like none of you guys experienced the year, so I mean, hey everything's normal again.
I mean,
But
like
then there's
Well,
other
it's
people.
Still not normal because it's like, oh yeah, so it's like,
my girlfriend disappeared and like.
but like
Ugh.
even if an entire school basically got wiped off, how much news did they miss? How
Oh,
much? Imagine
God.
if it was an election year, like
That'd be
Who's
great.
president? I don't know. One of the candidates disappeared.
Kanye West is not the president.
like
Half the candidates just like disappeared and only 2 were left.
I don't know. I just see a lot of problems with that, but it's totally a possibility that they'll do that.
Oh, definitely.
But again, so he goes on summer vacation and basically meets the Sinister Six, is what it looks like.
Maybe.
Because the Hydro Man thing, which I will give him credit, is kind of the one place where that would make sense, happens in Venice. So a city that's basically half
Yeah,
water.
like a
That
lot
would
of
make
water.
sense.
Super villain would be kind of cool there.
Yeah.
But still, is it going to be like every location he travels around the world, there's a different villain? Like that's going to
Oh,
be
that
like
sounds.
pacing wise. That's
It's not vacation.
weird.
That's just a hell.
sounds
That's
like-
just hell.
That sounds like a video game concept.
Right?
Spider-Man. Actually,
Like,
there was a game
Sounds
called
like a Spider-Man
Spider-Man Friend or Foe that was
yes,
just
I
that.
remember that.
That's
But
it.
how do you work that into a movie? Because like I feel it's either that
Yeah.
or you have 5 or 6 villains for 2 hours and give very little like character to them.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. That's fair enough. Also, how are they going to advertise this movie? Like when Infinity
That's
War.
the big thing people are talking about because apparently I think Marvel's trying to tell Sony do not put out trailers for this until like right before Infinity War comes out.
And then they announced
And
like.
Sony's like, we're our own company. You don't tell us what to do. And they're like, yes, but you will make less money if you do it.
Yeah.
Yes, but
like-
you're gonna fuck it up. Like, if
Fuck you, I do what I want,
anything.
Dad.
So it's the weird thing of Sony ultimately gets to be in charge of the advertising, so they could unintentionally spoil Avengers 4.
That sounds like Sony to me. But like, yeah, I like to think of it as like Disney is like, no, son, don't advertise a film that'll spoil our first film coming out, which will make us less money and you less money. And Sony essentially just did, fuck you, Dad.
No, like, wait, Dad, did you say something? And just, like, he released, like, 5 trailers.
What'd you say, Dad?
The opening of the movie, like...
The beginning, middle, and all uncut, just, like, the whole thing. Like, I fucking hate you so much.
We're gonna release the last half of Infinity War, not the first half.
Stop, you're ruining it.
I'm not affiliated with you anymore. You're not my son.
Anyway.
I hate this merger.
And then continuing the Spider-Man talk. This is going to be probably the last time we talk about it before it comes out. Spider-Man PS4.
Ooh, I recently pre-ordered that, and I am excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited, but I can't play it. Yet, at least.
Ooh.
So, also, just so you guys are aware, one of the plans that we're talking about at J4U Studios is as soon as the game drops, like opening day, doing a marathon stream of it. I'm talking like 8+ hours of us here at J4U Studios playing Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
If
great.
you're interested in that, let us know, but that's our current plan. So yeah.
Get hyped.
And, anything else we want to talk about with Spider-Man PS4 other than we're excited for it?
I hope it's good. I hope maybe it can do the impossibility of being better than Spider-Man 2. I know that's apparently like a hard thing to do for a game that came out 14 years ago.
Could do it.
Yeah,
I hope it does.
Because like I did
hope.
see a few like like reviews that like they got the mechanics right for like for the web swings and all that, and just like
I hope it's open world too.
Oh, it is. Well,
yeah,
it is. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Okay.
like where you
Thank
can
God.
like find like suits, new missions, and like you can be active with people, but you can't like you can't like beat up the crowd like GTA. You can just like they'll help you just like there's a crime over there, or just like something's happening, and like you can like interact with everybody.
And the story really interests me.
Yeah.
Well, so.
I'd love it if like in this game, since it has like nice graphics, you go up to people and like ask them like what the problem is, but it's still like the Spider-Man 2 thing where it's like, help Spider-Man! And that guy is beating up a man across the street.
Right there.
And then it's just a guy going, ow, stop. But it's like in nice graphics and it has the weirdest animation styles, but everything else is normal.
So everything else is normal except that. All right, but I want to say another thing about that is, God, there's another mechanic that they kind of added. It's just like when there's crime around the city, like it progresses with the story as well. So like, let's just say you're at like the hardest part. The challenges around there will even like get more difficult for you.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, which of course makes sense. Like say like a new villain appears and like their gang will appear.
Yeah.
In a way and all that, which will be super fucking interesting to see like what kind of stuff can you get out of it, or just like what more story is there to it. Just like for this game, like I'm super excited to see where it's gonna take us, because like they're not doing like just an origin story. Like they're just doing like he's been Spider-Man for 8 years. He's been going through a lot. He knows his like whole way of just being Spider-Man. So
Very Arkham Asylum-esque.
Yeah,
actually, that's a good way to describe
Which
it.
is what I kind of hope this game is. It's the return of that kind of superhero game.
Yeah.
I love that franchise, the Arkham games.
Yeah, like what it was able to do for Batman.
Yeah, so if Spider-Man can have that kind of a franchise, hell yeah.
And I do know that there is a DLC coming out, because like when I pre-ordered, it says like coming out in March 2019. It's like, oh, okay, so what's this gonna be about?
What I'm really hoping for, they've talked about potentially a Venom, or no, there have been speculations of potentially a Venom DLC, because it doesn't look like Venom's in the game.
I don't know, I'm thinking Black
That is
Cat.
cool.
But
I don't know why.
I think Black Cat not in the game?
No.
Oh, okay.
But one that I
don't know, I'm
hoping
just
for
thinking
is
about
Daredevil.
that too.
Because Daredevil's in New York.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. Yeah,
And
like,
the
he is in
Avengers
New York.
Towers is there, so I don't know who.
Yeah, but I don't think
maybe.
Daredevil's gonna be in the game. So
Yeah.
he'd be a cool DLC because he's in the area.
Yeah, maybe you can play.
I mean,
as
you got
Daredevil.
like you got in New York everywhere, and like they had to like make some buildings a bit bigger for you to like swing around. And I'm really excited, but just like I'm curious what the DLC is gonna be. Like, you never know. And plus, like for like the Venom thing, there could be like probably like a Venom suit, and you just gotta find it, since there are like. There have been like some notes where either it's like 21 or 24 suits in the game.
Either way, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And just like one of the concept art's been sending like Marvel like approval, like, hey, can we have this please? Like, can we please add this in? And then like, of course, when it came to Marvel, it's like, yes, you can add this to the game. So I am really excited to see like what kind of suits are they gonna use, because like if you see like in the posters at the beginning, like where it puts on the suit, there is like the wrestling match one, so we could get that one. And I'm super curious to see like when it comes to crafting, how we're gonna like make the suit, and like they're all like features. Like for the punk one, there's like a guitar thing with like sound, which will like distract the criminals and all that. And for like the Iron Spider, I believe there's, I'm actually not so sure, probably for super move probably the legs, but I do know for the
legs.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And I know for the new suit that they made,
which I think that suit has really grown on me.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you know which one I'm talking about? This one that they made their own, like it glows.
Mhm.
Yeah. It like speeds up your ability like going around town, so that's pretty interesting to see. Like with the suits you find, they have like little abilities that will like help you into battle. So yeah.
Yeah. Oof. This seems like it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
So, a game that I don't know how much you guys know about it, but I think would be awesome for like a not for families game night that just came out is Overcooked 2.
I've never heard of
Do
this.
you guys know about the original Overcooked?
I don't know actually. Yeah. What?
So
tell me.
Overcooked is a hilarious it's a good party game. It's very chaotic. You each kind of have a character, you're each a chef in one kitchen, and you have to get as many orders completed.
Oh, I played that game before.
So it gives you 60 seconds and an order. So you have to then, for instance, if it's a hamburger, lettuce, beef, cheese, one person then has to take a patty, throw it on the grill, cook it. Another person would be then chopping the lettuce. Another person would be doing something with the cheese. So everyone's it's a chaotic mess of where you have to try and be organized with the time limit, try and get enough orders done.
Is this on the
just
Switch?
A fun game. It might be actually.
Yeah, because like I remember playing something like that, except like instead of just like cooking burgers, it's just like making a soup and just like one person had to cook. Yeah, okay, yeah, then I've definitely played this game. It was like I played the wheelchair monkey.
Yes, yeah, that's Overcooked.
That's a fun ass game.
So the sequel just came out, and they added it's basically the same game with new maps and new levels and stuff.
New characters.
The one new character stuff. The only mechanic they added, which is awesome and hilarious, is the ability to throw food.
Yeah,
that's great.
If you're on one side of the kitchen and someone else is, you could just throw them lettuce.
Yeah, you gotta get it though, otherwise it'll fall.
I'm excited now.
I think it would be a great game for us. But anyway,
yeah,
that's a game that just came out, and then the other game, last game we have to talk about here is Monster Hunter World, which you may be wondering, but that came out like a year ago. Yes, but it's taken them this long to make it PC. So.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be.
World PC just came out.
I thought it was gonna be like the thing where it's like a game that they make in Japan, and so it takes like a year for it to get to America.
No, it's been on Xbox and PS4 for about a year now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about Monster Hunter. I remember even playing like a little bit of the Wii U one that they had, like way back, and it seems like an interesting game where it's like, oh, you gotta like find the biggest monster and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have that much of a knowledge of it though. Besides that.
It's a good game. It's one of those grinding games, though.
Yeah, it's an RPG.
Yeah.
It's an RPG.
But overall, I like the mechanics of it. It still feels so weird to me that the game has been out for this long, but it's just come back into the news because it finally has come out on PC.
Yeah.
It just done this long.
That long, huh?
You couldn't have just held back the main release to launch all the consoles at once or something, or at least in a
GTA
shorter
5
amount of time than a year.
Yeah.
But,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's now out and it's now on PC, which everyone likes PC, so check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're on to news, the news portion of this. So we got a lot to cover. So we'll probably just be picking and choosing different things I've listed here, going in more in depth with some things, less in depth on others. But we're gonna get started with the big one here. Get my legal document stuff. The Fox Disney deal, which I have a whole booklet of information on. So if we have any questions, should all be covered in this.
I'm gonna put this guy in the front just as like a visual reminder.
No, hold up, wait, get that.
Oh wait, yeah, this would be Fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, together.
There we go.
We can make a new, stronger company.
Morphing
what
together.
A horrifying creation they made.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of crossovers,
actually,
everybody. Get ready for X-Men and Peter Griffin.
So it has been approved in the U.S. I think internationally, it's still going through a couple hurdles, but it looks like it's pretty much happened.
Yeah.
Because I know U.S. was the one that was taking a while. there are a few other countries that are still signing off on it, but overall, it looks like it's passed. So, yay! To some people and meh to others.
I'm like
Monopolies,
whoa.
yay!
I'm like, wow, they're buying off everything.
Yeah, which we basically live in a world where AT&T and Disney own everything.
Yeah.
Entertainment, like those two companies.
It's just a matter of time till they fight over one thing.
Yeah, maybe they'll try to buy out each other.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I'll buy you. No, I'll buy you.
No, I was gonna buy you first.
I'll buy you.
And then the U.S. government's like, you know what? No, you guys
Stop
are all
it.
fucking like, no, go away.
Yeah.
You do this shit again, I'm gonna destroy you.
You do this again, I'm gonna take Fox away from you, Disney. No, don't do that.
But,
A&T, you better not do it.
so it means good things for Marvel,
Yeah.
at the very least.
I guess, yeah, like, and now it's like X-Men and whatever.
Fantastic
other...
Four.
We
Deadpool.
finally get Doctor
Finna-
Doom. I'm so excited. For
I like
that. Galactus.
yeah.
Ooh. Oh,
I like
shit, I forgot
I
they
like
owned
how
that.
Fantastic Four was one of them because
And X-Men? Come on.
X-Men seems like it'll be cool,
I want to see
but
some weird Avengers versus X-Men movie or
Like,
something like that.
Do you think Marvel's even gonna try with Fantastic
It
Four?
looks like Fantastic Four's the first one they're gonna do.
Yeah. Since, the Avengers Tower is no longer there, they'll probably,
Maybe
like,
they'll be
go
good.
somewhere
Well,
with
even
that.
The fact that Fantastic Four movie-wise have had the most underwhelming
Shittiest.
performances, they're looking at doing that one first as kind of the proof that
The
the
can,
deal was good
yeah.
and that they can make good shit with it.
Hmm.
So it looks like Fantastic Four will be the quickest thing that we'll see.
Yeah, but didn't they also isn't now stuff that they were originally doing in Fox, like New Mutants, now just kind of scrapped?
No, it looks like
No.
they're finishing it, but as of that stuff being done, they're not doing anything past that. So the Dark Phoenix movie, which has had a lot of production hell, which might actually get scrapped because it's had so much production hell. If it does get finished, though, they will release it.
Okay.
Same with New Mutants and all that.
Mm.
But it's they're not going to make a New Mutants sequel.
That's fair
Deadpool,
enough.
though, Marvel's already announced their philosophy is keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing.
It's working
Yeah.
as it is. So
Yeah,
keep
we're
it.
not gonna touch it, just, be you.
I love the visual image of this, but the president of Disney has said that he loves Deadpool. And that he wants them to keep doing what they're doing. But I just imagine, Mickey Mouse doing, I love Deadpool. The guy in the fucking red suit is awesome.
I love him! Haha!
I can't say that word on television
He
anymore.
makes me money, and he makes everybody happy. So I'm happy. Oh.
I like to think it's like Deadpool's able to say things I can't say because of my public image, which I'm fine with. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so that is cool.
He
But
got the stamp of Mickey. Oh.
if anything, that just means they might get to do more stuff, because then they can, do you guys remember from Deadpool 2 the cameo of the X-Men where it's James McAvoy and
Yeah.
all of them?
And just
through
them
the
at
door
a
and the
party.
door closed. They could do that with Tony Stark now.
Captain America.
Probably.
Thor.
Yeah, that's a good
anybody.
point,
For not the sake of they're in the MCU, just for Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a big role. It's just,
Yeah.
a wink. There could be a little billboard, just Stark Industry or something like that. Like Deadpool destroys back, destroys or something.
Yeah. That's fair enough. It could be something interesting.
Yeah, or an Iron Man suit in the background of
Yeah.
a fight.
Yeah.
Or just
But it's, little
yeah.
Easter eggs.
Or just he tries to make a suit. I'm in my own Iron Man suit. It's just a bucket and just cardboard. You're going to fight that. Yeah. It's called
It worked for Tony.
Yeah.
He got out of prison with it in Middle Eastern.
He got away
country,
from
but
ISIS, so it could work for me.
I don't know if that was
Anyway.
ISIS, but
It wasn't.
No, it's just,
actually
it's
the
a-
Mandarins.
Yeah, but just since it's Deadpool, he'll just make it. I don't know.
Also,
That makes
watch
me
that
so
mic.
upset to think about though now.
Deadpool can make.
No. The fact that the first Iron Man scene, the people who were holding him captive were the Mandarin soldiers. Then in the third movie, the Mandarin's an actor.
yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, with the Fox deal, so now
Yeah.
a bunch
Well,
of
you
Fox
never know what's gonna
characters are
happen, and we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
They could have a Guardians thing with Silver Surfer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Anybody thought about that?
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later in terms of news.
All right.
But that's all well and good, but I'm kind of just more worried about this whole thing is the context of it kind of
The
seeming
Monopoly.
the monopoly, yeah.
It very much so is.
And just
Who owns
now it's
McDonald's?
harder for independent films to probably get funded in some ways, and now
Well,
Fox
I'm
Searchlight's
curious about
dead.
Fox Searchlight. What that's gonna happen.
Yeah, because that's been producing some of the most critically acclaimed films. They're like mostly independent films too. And now that's sort of just like up in the air if that's even going to continue on.
I assume it will.
I hope.
Again, there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of what Disney's wanting to do is have business as usual. The only difference is they're getting the money from it.
Yeah. Not Fox. Just like we get more money. We get to put it in the big vault.
Yeah. Well, if you want to find out for sure, you can read this, Luke.
Yeah.
All of it.
Answers in there.
What page?
Well, that's for you to figure out.
394.
Yeah, but that's the actual. What he's looking at there is the official Disney Fox deal right there.
Take a look.
Well, they probably can't. Hold on. Here's an idea. Hold it. There we go.
Wow. Look at it.
See, there's Mickey Mouse. There's Fox. Where's Homer Simpson?
This is the actual deal. But anyway.
Homer Simpson talks to Mickey Mouse.
But yeah, so, cool. So now we got a lot of YouTube news that I'm going to quickly just breeze by.
Put this
we can
away
quickly
now.
give our thoughts to. I don't want to stick to it for too long because we have been going for much longer than we had planned.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of bullet point it. First thing, Daddy of Five finally shut down.
Finally.
After all this time.
Yeah. There is good in the world.
Yeah. Any other notes? Or are we going to move on from that?
Fuck Daddy of Five. I hope he is Daddy of None and dies Daddy of None.
I'm glad this whole situation happened.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Clarify your phrasing there.
I'm glad that
in terms of what happened,
that they got rid of the channel.
Yeah, like
yes.
That's why I'm glad of this whole situation that like YouTube is seeing about a situation like this and they took care of it.
About a year after.
Yeah, about a year after.
But
about a year. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm glad that this whole scenario
done.
just like finally like searching and like doing research about this and like seeing what they're doing. It's finally over. They got rid of the channel. That's what I'm glad for.
I think of it like that last. You're in some really hot water. Like everything you say
every time.
But like I think of it like that like the ending of Lord of the Rings where like Frodo looks up, he's like, it's done. Like he's just like so fucking tired of it, and it's just like it's finally over.
Yeah.
But it is. It's finally over.
I'm always in hot water when it comes to this
next
shit.
Next on the list. Lots of Logan Paul type stuff.
Again?
So the first thing we have is the Logan Paul
yet.
versus KSI fight.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Positive for YouTube, because the last KSI boxing match was one of the most, it was the most viewed live stream on YouTube. So it is a positive for YouTube. At the same side, though, the press conferences have been
shit.
Yeah.
So, just to summarize, the first one, which I want to say happened in California, the main takeaway from that was Walmart was the insult.
Walmart?
That was the Paul Brothers insult.
Yeah.
Was just chanting, Walmart!
He dressed like Pitbull. Why did he look like Pitbull? Just like shades, suit, and everything. Like, Walmart!
What the?
Walmart!
Okay, what am I not getting? What the fuck is...
They were saying that they got their outfits from Walmart.
Okay.
And then started going, anytime the KSI or Deji were talking, just holding up the mic and going, Walmart!
Channel.
Content.
God damn it. No, channel is like a Walmart-esque thing.
That's
why there's the channel versus Walmart meme. But essentially, like, yeah, okay, that's a joke, I guess.
Apparently that was
then the second one, which actually made me in some regards feel bad to Logan, was the one in London, where England hates the Paul brothers.
Good.
I have a feeling a large part of that is England is my city, and then their personalities on top of that. But
oh no.
The fact that England hates the Paul brothers and KSI and Deji are British, that was a slaughter for the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Why even bother coming over?
Well, that's what Logan Paul found out about 5 minutes in, which is why he left. He just straight up left because he couldn't get a word in. He'd say something and KSI would say, "Shut the fuck up," and just have the mic and everyone would cheer on KSI. And anytime Logan tried to talk, it was ooh, endlessly.
I'm scared.
Yikes.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm super fucking scared to the fact that like people, like, I remember that whole Drake situation you talked to me about. Just like
which we'll get to.
Yeah, just like
just
hear like it sounds familiar and it's just like it's kind of scary. Fact.
Just want to say like you are being a bit covered up by the microphone.
Oh, I am.
More than a bit.
All right.
Move
How's
your
this?
boots.
How's this?
There you
That's
go.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'll be here for a little.
Yeah, I
bit.
just find that kind of scary to the fact that like, what if you're in that situation and just like you try to say something and everybody's saying like boo or just like they're
Yeah.
trying to throw shit at you.
Like,
Yeah.
That whole scenario, like that's
But
scary.
then
Well,
again,
And
you
also,
did film
after
a
that
dead
press
body.
conference, there were riots on the streets of London over that. The
Panic
fact
on the
that
streets
the
of
falls were in
London.
England.
Holy shit, this is
Like-
dark.
People were throwing things. It was just people were climbing things. Luckily, no one was hurt, and I have to this day not heard any reports of the police having to like force citizens away.
Really?
So I didn't. Luckily, that wasn't a thing.
I was wondering like the police come involved or some shit like that, but guess not. All right.
Yeah. So.
But
But
still.
still, just the fact that they were that vocal about that, and I'm not gonna play it. There's a really interesting thing with the Paul brothers' dad during that press conference.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like, did he get punched in the face?
Oh no, I wasn't talking about that, but that's true. That was a thing.
Yeah.
But on stage, after KSI just brutally going in on Logan, and to Logan's credit, KSI also made some remarks that were very uncalled for towards Logan's family and girlfriend.
Oh.
But so that's to Logan's credit. But then just Logan's dad got on the mic and just did the equivalent of "Well, I'll fuck your mom," and dropped the mic.
Wow, like a 50-year-old man too.
We at least know where they get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It all makes sense now.
But anyway, and then moving on to the last piece of Logan news is the Logan Paul Casey Neistat interview.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
I'm scared.
It was so
Get closer to the
painful.
mic, Luke.
And you're right. You ready to hear some good shit? Okay,
Yes,
so yeah,
please tell
I
me.
watched this. So Nick
This doesn't
showed
sound
it to me.
good.
Nick showed me this video recently, I believe, and it was the interview between Casey Neistat and Logan Paul. Basically, kind of discussing, like a lot of his controversies. It was genuinely some of the most painful stuff because, like, it seemed like
I want to see
at
this
some
now.
point he would actually say something that's like, oh, maybe that could be meaningful, but then he does something like immediately after, or say something immediately after to contradict that, and it's just like, oh, you're just fucking bullshitting everybody. You don't even slightly care, do you?
Like, there are some moments where, like, oh, I actually feel like I learned something about Logan. Oh, no, he was lying. Got it. Okay, good
Wait.
to know.
Oh,
Yeah.
you lying yet? Oh, you're lying? Shit.
It was the combination of, oh, wow, I'm beginning to have some trust in... Nope, that trust is gone. Okay, well, that was... It's like every second was like a different... It was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it was one. But then by like that last half, I knew he was just like bullshitting his way through his interview. So it was just like, I don't need to feel any sympathy for him. I'm just gonna be like, God, this is painful.
I probably shouldn't put in my 2 cents on this, but he had this big talk of the difference between culturally insensitive and insensitive. And
Yeah.
he called what he did in Japan insensitive, but not culturally insensitive. Fuck you. It was both.
It was both.
It was both.
It was very obviously both.
Mm.
Because, I mean, for one, you're just being an asshole to people in general. But
Yeah.
then,
Well,
on
it's the fact
top of that,
when you're waving fish that you took from a Japanese fish market that's very famous in the country and just shoving them in people's face. First off, yes, that is insensitive. Also, because of the history around it, culturally insensitive.
exactly.
When you go to one of their temples, which is basically a church,
Sacred
and
temple.
where people basically pray, and your prayer is, wanna fuck all them hoes. Insensitive, yes.
Yeah.
Also, culturally insensitive.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that has some very, that's some basically sacred ground.
And even
Yeah,
though
like, you basically
bought the
disrespected
Pokemon
it.
costumes in Japan, going around with giant Pokeballs and throwing them at people in cars, saying, "I choose you." Yes, that is insensitive.
Yeah.
It is culturally, also because of the heritage,
Culturally
insensitive.
insensitive. Yeah.
It's
It is
not-
both. I'm not arguing that it wasn't insensitive. You're right. It was insensitive. I'm arguing that it was also culturally insensitive.
It can be both. That's the main thing. Also, basically, culturally insensitive is just insensitive, but with the aspect of the cultural, perspective. So, no matter what, it will be insensitive.
Mhm.
So, why the fuck are you still doing that?
Yeah, that it was.
It's something.
That's my 2 cents on the Logan Paul Casey Neistat interview. Casey
Yeah.
did a fantastic job with the interview.
He did.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face for that whole thing, honestly.
yeah. No, I thought he did fantastic. Logan, not quite as well.
Ooh, boy. All right. So
Um,
what's next?
Next
Yeah.
is everything going on with Foosey Tube.
Oh no.
So, and this was coming right off the tail end of TanaCon. TanaCon was organized in either a month or a couple months.
It was a month.
A month?
Yeah.
So, Foosey saw that and did the equivalent of hold my beer and tried organizing an event in a week. And he marketed it saying, Drake will be there. From everything I could pull, Drake was not even in the same city.
Wasn't he in New York?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the event was LA.
Yeah. Like after like you telling me like more information about this whole situation, I was like, oh fuck, this is not going well for him. And also
on the No Jumper podcast that happened the day after. Also, let me also point out the event was shut down because of a bomb threat.
Yeah,
that too. Yeah.
With all these, I am so thankful that nobody got hurt because with TanaCon, with the hallways filled with people and there's no way anyone could get out in a hurry to this, thank God no one got hurt in any of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't one person get arrested though?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so that's
because he pointed out like there he is.
Yeah.
Like and then like the cops like got him.
I don't even want to give the energy to explain that whole side of the situation. So maybe I'll just add a link in so that if you want to learn more, either H3H3 podcast or Philip DeFranco show, they both covered this very well. And it is very concerning with his mental state because he has a massive following. And if you watch the No Jumper podcast, he is not all good in the head.
He kind of reminds me of one of my uncles, and I'm kind of scared about that.
Oh no!
Well, imagine if your uncle had millions of people saying, "Yes, what you're saying is right. I agree with you, and will follow you."
That's basically millions of hymns.
Yeah.
Like no joke. It's just like if you have a million clones, if you're agreeing with yourself, this is how I see the scenario. It's just like a lot of him.
I just want to say the thoughts of Foosey Tube from that podcast are deeply concerning, both for himself and those around him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What about that whole Keemstar thing? Like saying like,
oh my god, that was also
that was the part that kind of scared me a bit. Like that similar situation with the Logan brothers
Keemstar
and all that.
Was the Logan brothers, the Paul brothers,
or the
Logan and Logan.
I don't know. They both look the same.
Mario and Luigi Mario.
They both.
Anyway,
I could call them the Jake brothers, but either way,
the fuck brothers.
Anyway,
the blonde brothers.
Yeah, the whole thing was Keemstar. Keemstar was invited to the event, and there was literally like a rally afterwards, after it's canceled, where Foosey was on a car with hundreds of people on the streets around him as he talked. And at one point, he basically called out Keemstar, who was in the middle of said crowd, and said, "Fuck you." And like, I would be terrified in Keemstar's place if that happened, because he's basically starting the chant of "fuck that guy" to his devoted fans who are surrounding him.
Yeah,
and maybe a bit unstable.
God, like the fact I have a feeling that maybe some people kind of pushed him around, kind of like I don't know, just. God, that's so scary. Like,
also just
so terrifying. Like, after him, sort of thing. Just like, like in some movies, like get him.
Yeah, like where just like randomly like someone just like turns on an audience and then they like go crazy. Yeah. Also, can I just say,
pitchforks and knives and
it takes a lot of effort to make Keemstar seem the right one in a situation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it does.
Keemstar being the voice of reason. Who'd have thunk?
And just like after like seeing that podcast of him saying that he met like Drake and all that.
That was creepy.
That was creepy. That was super creepy, dude. Just like after he called him out like straight up, like it made me fucking laugh.
Okay, I guess we are getting into this then. So my stance on that. So with the podcast, he told a very interesting story about meeting Drake.
Yes.
That in no part of the story does he meet Drake.
It was just like apparently connection with eyes and all that. They both nodded at each other, and then like Keemstar came over, like I don't think that happened.
Oh no, he said like, well, so let me get it straight. You didn't meet Drake, and Foosey just silent.
Just like.
But anyways, but with that, I totally believe that Foosey believes that happened.
Yeah, he believes
which
that,
is the part that makes me worried because I don't believe it happened.
I don't believe that at all.
Neither do I.
He's mentally, psychologically in a point where might even be like borderline schizophrenic in some state, but like
Kind of, yeah.
He has a different view on life, which, you know, one aspect is good, but in terms of, you could tell him something, and he doesn't hear it and thinks you say something else. I believe that he didn't meet Drake, but he's so convinced that he did that he wholeheartedly believes it and made up that story.
Yeah.
I believe he has a poster of Drake, and he just looked up that, like, I met Drake.
He had the poster in his room, had that whole interaction.
Yeah,
with that
just
poster,
like at a distance, like they
then
both
just
nod their
called his friends like, guys, I just met Drake.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is how I see the situation. Either he was on his computer, like listening to, like watching a video he made, like a music video, just like he nods his head with him, like, guys, I just met Drake right now. Oh my god.
Though that also reminds me, there was also some other stuff around that event, like that thing where he was just like yelling outside of a car, almost like not even driving it.
Oh my god, that was also.
Yeah.
And then that guy just like, hey, get the fuck down. Like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, definitely watch and keep yourself updated on the news regarding Foosey too, because
It'll either end in one of two
Ooh.
things. Maybe he'll just like, you know, calm down. Maybe he'll try to find a better version of himself to be later on in life. Maybe he'll just like basically go away from YouTube all in all. Or we're gonna have catastrophe.
yes,
That's the only way.
My fear is that it's the latter.
I just discovered something really funny.
Hmm.
The sweet life of Logan and Jake.
Get the fuck out.
But now I know what I want to call this one. This podcast.
You're welcome.
Okay. So the next
Jesus.
thing to talk about is everything going on with the IGN plagiarism scandal.
Ooh.
I don't actually know about this.
I don't know anything at all. I'm kind of.
So there was
Ooh.
a review for. Oh, sorry. I gotta time this. Hold on. 'Cause I keep on bumping and it knocks into my mic. Okay. So there was a news with. I want to make sure it gets the game right. IGN plagiarism. Hold on. What was the game? See if I can get the name of the game here.
It was Pokemon. They said
Something
too much water.
Sells. What's the game that came out recently?
Cells.
It was Something Sells.
That's
Something.
Cells.
Real, blah, blah, blah. What is the game? I'm looking at a picture of it right here.
Let me see. That looks so familiar. I can't remember what.
It's like. Let me just Google.
Dead End Cells?
Game.
Isn't that it? Dead Cells?
Oh, Dead Cells, yes. So, IGN did a review of Dead Cells with one of their editors who's been there for a while. And then after the review of it came out, a YouTuber uploaded a video that he uploaded beforehand that's beat by beat the same review.
Huh.
They talk about the same mechanics, give the same critiques in the same way.
Yeah, like everything
Well,
is like
now.
word for word almost the same.
So IGN
Maybe.
investigated it, and not only found that guy had clearly just stole that guy's reviews and redid the voiceover essentially, but had done that for pretty much all the other reviews he's done for IGN, and to the point where, here's the real kicker, even his resume was plagiarized.
You know what I find kind of funny?
His resume was
man.
ripped right out of a template unedited.
The way I see the
How the fuck
situation.
does nobody like checking that stuff?
The way I see the situation is like, hey, can I copy your homework? Don't worry, I'm just. Actually, I'm not gonna change anything. I'm not gonna change anything at all. I'm just gonna put my name on
Yeah,
it.
and not even asking.
That
Yeah.
Just straight taking it out of the
I mean,
bin.
Hey, look over
Copy
there. Then you just
turn
like
it
take
in.
it. That's
yeah, like
it.
you just like open up my backpack, be like,
Like, do you have like
mine.
what the fuck? You don't have answer A? Like, you don't have B? Like,
But
what?
IGN literally said that enough stuff was plagiarized that they just took down everything he's done at IGN.
That's good.
Well, shit. All right.
Which
Even
does
his-
suck for IGN, because IGN on this whole scandal has been very good of suspending him immediately, doing the investigation, and coming to these conclusions. But at the end of the day, it's still their reputation who's being tarnished.
What are you guys discussing? The IGN thing?
The IGN plagiarism
Yeah.
scandal revolving the Dead Cells review, which presented more reviews that were plagiarized, essentially.
So, and then the guy put out on his own YouTube channel
I'm
a
sorry.
video defending himself, essentially, which was actually happened before IGN put out the whole thing about finding out so many of his reviews were plagiarized, where he said, it was just the one review that I made a mistake on. Please, go through all my stuff, you'll see that I didn't plagiarize anything else, and that's when they went through his stuff and figured out he plagiarized everything he had done.
Why the fuck even say anything by that point if you're literally trying to keep to your job?
He's trying to defend
and you
himself.
don't
I think
care.
he'd already been fired at that point.
He lost his job. He lost his resume. He has to make
But
a
it's
new
like-
one.
Why say something you know is like going to be like it's very easily like yeah that's not true.
The best
Why would you
analogy
put-
I heard for that situation was the equivalent of you have a girlfriend who thinks you're cheating, and you go, "Nah, go check my phone. You won't find anything." Wait, you're actually checking my phone? No, give it back. Don't go there. Don't go there. It's literally that only in your professional career.
Don't
Veronica's nobody, I swear. Veronica's my mom.
And then Veronica's like, hey, let's go date, and it's like,
Hey, let's go fuck right
Why is
now.
Veronica sending you nudes?
Whose ass is this?
God
That's
damn it.
mine.
it's like I thought it would work. Damn it.
Damn
Like,
it.
that whole
I thought my trust
situation
thing would work.
is that thing of where it's like, fuck that guy first off, and also
Yeah.
I do feel bad for IGN because
Oh.
they're the ones who are getting the shit for this at the end of the day, and it's their reputation.
Also-
You know what?
Also,
it's,
that guy that does the reviews, because like who knows how many like followers he has on YouTube or subscribers he has on YouTube.
I mean, enough to make the news wide enough that everyone on the internet started going through all of his stuff to realize that it was all plagiarized.
yeah, like,
Damn.
but like the. So was it like a YouTube channel that he was essentially getting every single review from?
No, I think it was a bunch of different places.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was literally just stealing from one specific YouTuber.
No, that would be messed
So
up.
in a way, he's kind of the bully who just takes takes everyone's homework. Like, you know, like, give me that, take some of that.
Can you imagine he took that one YouTuber's reviews for everything and his resume?
In fact, give me your resume. I need to get this IGN job right now.
Is this fucking Biff from Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Like, gosh, that
Want to make
But
like
anyway,
a tree and
that's the
Go-
whole story
go
with what's going on
away.
with IGN. The next thing
God.
we're talking about, let's try not to go into detail about, because I know
Alright.
I have some fairly strong opinions about it, but I prefer that we've already gone an hour 45
Oh,
to
damn.
start wrapping up.
Definitely, yeah.
So the next story is around James Gunn's firing from Marvel.
This
So,
one's a bit weird.
Why don't we just go person, or person,
kind of.
person?
Can I go last?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, and I'll also kind of expand on the story for those of you who are not aware. So I'll go ahead, give the whole background of all this. So, on Twitter, James Gunn has made some fairly political tweets against a particular politician who is currently president in office.
Yeah.
Trump.
There
Yeah.
are some people on the opposite side, kind of, I don't want to say alt-right, but far-right,
It's kind of in there, like almost.
who took offense to what he was saying, and to kind of tear down his reputation, went through his Twitter and pulled a lot of his tweets back from about 9 years ago, which
Or 10.
are just to show like this. They are very, very offensive tweets.
They are.
Yeah.
That he
like,
put
yeah.
up at the time for the sake of, ooh, look at me, I'm edgy, because he was working at
Probably Trauma at that
it
point.
was Trauma, yes. He was working at Trauma,
What's
which if you don't know Trauma,
I don't know.
Like that was yeah.
what his tweets are, imagine those are the pitches for 2-hour movies, and that's Trauma.
Yeah, pretty
Ooh.
much.
So, in that regard, it kind of makes sense, but still at the same end, it's kind of hard to defend the tweets. You can't
Yeah.
really it. They're very...
It's
Yeah.
You could make the argument that they were intended to be jokes. 0% of them are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like he tried, but yet it
It-
failed.
My reading them are, wow, I get he was trying to make that a joke.
Yeah.
In no way are they funny, and it comes off more cringy and fake edgy than anything
Yeah,
else.
it's just
that's what I got.
It's kind of like that's not really a joke. It's like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just like-
that's the feeling
Yeah,
I got.
It's like that one person
Yeah.
who is a friend of a friend who
Yeah.
you're having a conversation with, and they say something, you're like, got it, so we're not going to be friends.
Yeah, just like
They-
that's not really funny. That's like
they
slightly
essentially
disturbing.
they say
Yeah.
something that's like if it wasn't the fact that they were like, yeah, this is a joke, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's not a
But
fucking
anyway.
joke. Like that's not a joke. That's
Which-
like really fucked up.
Disney heavily vets all their people, so they knew about it beforehand, first off.
You know what?
And in
Yeah.
fact, before the first Guardians movie came out, James Gunn made an official apology for those tweets. Because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was part of his getting a job at Disney. Or at, not at the time. Well,
Okay,
actually,
I
no,
did
it
not
was.
know this.
Yeah,
I
so
knew
he
about that
already
part,
made an
yeah.
apology for it now, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, like it was
Yeah,
in
4 or 5.
2012.
No, it was around like, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
I was like thinking
So
like when
he
it came out.
apologized
Never
for
mind.
the tweets
Yeah.
and all that back then. But because of the recent thing, and I think one of the biggest reasons for his firing is the Disney Fox deal wasn't done at the time, and they didn't want to rattle the waters at all.
It was pretty rattled already because of that.
Because of that, though, they just said, you know what, we're going to cut our professional ties with him, because they didn't want to jeopardize the Disney Fox deal.
Yeah.
Which, you know, from the business aspect, kind of get, but also, okay, I'm not going to get too far into my thoughts.
Exactly.
But since then, the cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy, all of them have come out with a combined official statement. Dave Bautista has been by far the most vocal about it.
Yeah.
Even going so far as if Disney doesn't use the script that James Gunn wrote, he won't play Drax. But Dave Bautista is by far the most vocal about it. But they all put out a combined statement saying the tweets are not reflective of him as a person, and they still hope to work with James Gunn in the future.
Yeah.
But with that, though, it does look like he will, despite all the campaigns and everything, asking for him to be reinstated as director of Volume 3. It, at this point in time, does not look like he will.
Yeah.
Especially because James Gunn turned in the script a couple months ago, and they need to start shooting it. So, it's not like there's all that much time left for him to be reinstated. They need to find another director.
Yeah, that's
just
also
like
the other issue, too.
I don't know, just like...
So, that's basically my thoughts on the story there. And I don't think I'm leaving anything out, but if I do, I'll bring it up. But
yeah, like
what are your guys' thoughts on this?
That seems pretty much like almost everything that I can think of. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's no like, oh yeah, like I feel like this is totally in the wrong or totally in the right. There's a lot of
middle ground.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, this whole scandal made me understand where personally for me the line is on what I'm like, yeah, fuck Harvey Weinstein and all that shit, versus the Henry Cavill, him not wanting to be in relationships, and like, those are two things on the totally opposite sides of the spectrum, and this showed me where I find the line is.
Yeah, that's like, this is basically the kind of complete line.
If it's worse than this, it's a fuck that situation. If it's
a little less than
better, is that the word used? Then I'm like, no, I stand by that person.
Yeah, not as terrible.
Yeah, not as terrible. That's where I stand by this is. This is for me where the line is.
Yeah.
This is that middle point.
Because, like, I know, like, a lot of people that are both, like, really adamant against and really for James Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it's really hard to, like, even, like, how do you even, like, choose any position? Because this thing is just kind of fucked, like, in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's completely fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's some that it's, like, for obvious reasons, and, again, for ones that are just, like, that's kind of unreasonable. But it's just... Alright, so... The tweets are awful, yeah, that's so undeniable.
I think one of the key things is the people who defend James Gunn, no way, I think maybe 99% of them are not defending the tweets. They're defending him as a person.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, like...
That was his brother.
You can't necessarily define a person because of a tweet. I mean, they can say a horrible thing, and that can be, like, yeah, like, you could be associated with that. But they're not, like, entirely so. Like, trying to think, like... And also the fact that it was like, how many years ago was it?
About 9, I want to
9
say.
years.
It was either 9 years or 2009, but that equates to about the same.
Yeah,
I'm just like...
Mathematically.
There's a lot that can happen with a person in 9 years. Like, maybe... Who knows? Maybe they're all,
There's
like...
a lot that can happen to a person in 1 year.
Exactly, yeah, like...
they can't, like... For say, like, you know... Nick, example, just, like... He's focusing on a project, like a new project... But in a year, maybe something changed. Like maybe that project failed, or he thought of a better project, and he's not going to continue on the other one.
Yeah, I mean, in the past year alone, I've changed drastically.
Same here. Like, honestly, there's a point where I never would have seen myself like working on a short film or even be part of like a channel.
Same here.
And then like out of the blue, I'm just like, hey, now I'm on a podcast, which, you know.
Yeah, here we are now. I didn't see this coming.
But yeah, like stuff like that. It's also like there's also the fact that he did apologize before about it, and now that it's being just kind of brought back in at a bad time, it's sort of now like more effective. But
it also kind of bothers me slightly that the tweets weren't dug up because of wow, this is really messed up part. It's he said this about my guy, so I'm gonna expose this about him. The motivation there makes me feel a little. Wait a second, which is something Dave Bautista's hit on a lot.
Yeah.
One thing also like. I guess they don't know who Roy Moore is. Just bringing that up. Don't want to get like too into that, but if you know, anyways. Also, I feel like I remember you said something about like what James Gunn has done, like in terms of the Me Too situation.
Oh yeah, he was one of the biggest people trying to take down Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, and
like he spent his entire career in Hollywood trying to dig up dirt on Harvey Weinstein. So when the Me Too thing came out, he was one of the people at the forefront saying, "Police authorities, I have evidence. Talk to me," kind of thing. Not, I'm paraphrasing. I want to say, but
yeah.
See, this is just like, gosh, shit.
Like the way I kind of look at it is almost, like I feel like it's so like middle ground, but I feel like I'm slightly just more for him because of like stuff like that. There's evidence of him being like, you know, a better person after
and
that
also,
point.
it does also get a little bit wishy-washy in terms of Hollywood as a whole, let's just say.
Yeah.
Some of the jokes he's made, there's a lot of people in Hollywood who live that way.
Yeah.
So that also makes the situation a little more complicated. In fact, I am one of the people who am 100% confident that it's a joke, but there's a lot of people who live that way.
Yeah,
like,
so
what are you
exactly.
trying to say?
But like, yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
What?
What he said? What he said? Whatever he said.
I'll tell you about that later.
We'll talk about that off camera because I'm hoping the next Me Too situation.
Yeah.
A reason why I'm not watching that movie. Anyways, but yeah, like stuff like that, and just I feel like the biggest thing is like, you know, the phrase like you can, I don't know the exact phrase, but you can say a lot of things, but it's more what you actually do that matters. He made jokes about it, and that's, you know, it's terrible. They're awful jokes. But, like, he never did them. He never actually, like, he's not an actual pedophile. Like, this, well, not that we know
also,
of, at least.
Allegedly. Who knows, maybe 5-10 years evidence will come out, but I don't believe that.
I don't
believe that either.
Yeah, and, like, and what you said about, like, what he was able to find for the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, that's a case of your actions speak louder than your words.
Well, and also, I trust the actors of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies who worked with him day in, day out for 2 movies.
Yeah, I especially...
Yeah,
like, freaking... Like, there's some actors where I'm like, maybe, but, like, Dave Bautista, like, I'm just so surprised at how much he, like, adamant he is.
Oh, he is so adamant. Like, he's... Again, like I said, he was the first person to respond saying the tweets are not representative of who he is as a person. He was one of the first people to be like, I want him reinstated as director of Volume 3, and now he's the first person to say that, at the very least, if they don't use his script, he won't do it.
Yeah. But, like...
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's sticking by your man.
Yeah.
It's finest.
Yeah. And one thing is, and I know I said, like, the actions speak louder than your words, but one thing that I feel like is kind of like the camel that broke the whatever you bring the back with the camel thing.
The hump?
Camel's back. The camel that broke the straw's back, yeah.
The man who broke the camel's hump?
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay, that's what it is. Alright, but for me, at least with the situation, is the fact that, like, there's been a lot of actors and directors that have been coming out with those apologies for, like, shitty things that they've done. And there's some that are just basically just excuses. Yeah. And they never really actually, like, address the issue itself. Whereas James Gunn, from the apology I saw, was like, yeah, what I did was completely shitty and justified to be, like, removed for whatever reason. And, yeah, like, I hope that they improve with the, you know, like, Guardians 3. It's not like, guys, I have a reason for doing it.
Yeah, there's excuses which are, what I did is okay because of blank, and then there's an explanation, which is, I know what I did was wrong, here's what my thought process is. A lot of people do the excuses, not as many do the explaining.
Excuse
mostly
pedophilia for saying you're homosexual, which that's probably not even true.
What?
That's a...
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Alright. It's my turn?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, sorry, I talked too much.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like,
you have the floor.
With that, you two gave me, like, more, like...
time to get your
thoughts done and all that. Now, let's face it, the tweets he said are really fucked up. The fact that, like, they're uncomfortable and just plain out disturbing. Like, kind of like the thing that we talked... Kind of like how we talked about. Just, like, you meet a friend, and then, like... from a friend, and then just like the way how they, like, you know, have their own jokes, and by you it's like really fucking uncomfortable. Like, wow, it's messed up, man. Like, yeesh, I don't want to hang out with you, just stay away from me, or just like something like that. And like, it's really hard because, like, with the new, information that you told us about like him trying to take down like Harvey Weinstein and all that, like it's, I don't know, like again, it's really
it's a gray area.
It's a gray area. It's like confusing because like there's like two sides where it's hard to go for. Just like there's one just like I fucking hate him, like I don't want him like anywhere near like Disney or anything like that because he said these tweets. He's like
Disney's a child brand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and
there's that too.
Yeah, and like I completely understand that, but then there's people like, you know, like listen, it was just like, you know, it was tweets. Like this doesn't mean he's like that as a person. Again, not that we know of. Because like you never know in 10 years.
You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow something could come up.
Something could come up and it's just like, oh shit.
FBI raided his house and found blah blah blah.
And found all this stuff. He's in jail now.
Again, there's only words to tell us things.
Yeah.
But they aren't the actual truth.
And just like with the like, you know, the cast from like Guardians, like, you know, standing up by him and just saying like, listen, like we've been with him for at least like these many years, we can trust him, and like, you know, we're not just gonna let you just like backslash him. And just again with the guy playing Drax, say like, if you at least don't like, you know, use his script, like then I'm walking out. And like that's dedication. But also again, just like the whole situation's in a gray area, and it's hard to like
Disney, who 75, if not more percent of their audience is kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of their biggest directors and creative minds made pedophilia jokes.
Yeah. Isn't exactly, you know, Disney approval. And to the fact that they even knew that,
they totally knew.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I thought like, wow, how come Disney didn't know?
Not find out. They knew as soon as they hired him.
This is like, again, that was news to me. Like, are you serious? Like,
this wasn't Disney going, what? Oh, well, I didn't know. Wow, that's enlightening. No, they knew.
Just like, was, we knew. Why? Like,
the statement was, you guys are offended by this? Fine, he's fired.
Like, all right, like, that's how I see it. Like, you're offended now. Okay, well, Gunn, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to pull the trigger and, you know, shoot you out of here.
The other style.
Yeah. Yeah, but just like, this whole situation is like a big, like, field that you can't, like, exactly, like, pick a side. Just like, you know, like, we're against it, but we're for him. Like, no, it's just like, it's really hard to like pick a side because like the things he's done, which is good, but also the things that he kind of, you know, put down on Twitter is bad.
Which
like,
one thing I kind of maybe to end off this James Gunn part, ended off with one thing that Dave Bautista said that I think is actually very true is that how Disney and just people deal with this as a whole will, I think, set precedent for stuff going forward. Because I am a believer that this. Thank you, Datborg, for the follow on Twitch.
Ooh.
I personally feel that this is, at least for me, the line. This shows people where they stand with the line. So this, I think, will set precedent moving forward for how companies deal with stuff on this side, on that side, and also on the line.
Exactly, yeah.
In terms of when do you stick by your guy, when do you fire them, when do you whatever.
It's perfect.
So, yeah. Are we all good?
Yeah, we're all good. I just don't want to go back into this.
I think we're going to kind of cut it short there.
Yeah.
Because we've been going for 2 hours now, and I think that's more than long enough. So thank you guys for watching this episode of the J4U podcast.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could have you guys here. The OG squad of Just For You Studios.
OG boys.
Here.
OG.
For the last time, at least with you.
Yeah,
in
so you
this
guys
area.
were the...
One down for my homie.
Your first appearance, was episode 2 of the J4U podcast.
Yes.
What episode are we on now?
37 or something.
Damn.
38.
Wow.
If only we made it to 40.
Yep. But anyway, so, and that was, I want to say September 2016.
Yes.
This is almost our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, damn.
It's been 2 years. Holy
of
shit.
you guys, because technically there's that one episode in 2015, but basically...
Yeah, which was the
2 years
pilot.
of you guys being on the podcast.
Yeah.
But now, like, look at it. Like, the set has changed.
Yeah.
We have all changed.
Still have audio problems.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Audio's
That's still the same. Hey, at least we're gonna have the point of me just like trying to tell a story and just like it's all like, wait, can you say that again? I can't hear you, man.
Some things go up, other things go down.
Yeah. We are just
Priorities.
Yeah. This is the most professional equipment-wise we've ever done it, and we fucked it up.
But we tried our best.
Yeah, this
And
is
ain't
why
that
I
life.
typically TD,
And that's what counts.
so I can focus on one.
Amen.
subject. Anyway,
Life is like that sometimes, but we just gotta deal with it.
yeah. So thank you guys again for watching this episode of the J4U podcast. J4U podcast will be returning. It looks like the new setup for podcasts is going to be bi-weekly J4U podcast now to sing stories. So I guess I'll see you guys in about 2 weeks. So thank you guys for watching, and you guys. Oh no, let me get back to you. You guys have anything to end on with your last J4U podcast physical appearance, where we're all in the same room, at least for the foreseeable future?
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like no joke. I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, could you say that without the mic stand blocking your face?
I'm gonna miss this so much because I'm just gonna miss this.
It's just like
It's not the same without you, man.
Yeah.
it'll be.
I'm not joking. It's not the same.
It wouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll have to look at that ugly, disgusting drawing face I have now on Discord, but you know, we'll still have a little bit here. It'll be captured in video in 37 episodes that you can watch.
Yeah, some with good audio, some not.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Let's get to 37 more episodes, fools.
Yeah. 37 more. Do it. Hype for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Later!